Seattle this afternoon for a battle between two first-place teams as the Seattle Seahawks host the Buffalo Bills. The Bills off to their best start since 1964. Their only loss to the Chicago Bears. They're doing it with an outstanding defense. Bruce Smith, a great defensive end, and Cornelius Bennett named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week. The Seattle Seahawks have a one-game lead over Denver and the Raiders. The Seahawks without their starting quarterback, Dave Craig. They're going with a rookie, Kelly Stauffer, who's 3-2 as the starter so far. He's out of Colorado State, a big, strong kid who can really throw the football. Hello, everybody. I'm Mel Proctor along with Merlin Olsen. The Bills are playing great. They're 8-1, the best record in the league. But how in the world can they not be favored coming into this game?
A picket game, that shocks me. I think the odds makers must be giving the Seahawks the benefit of 6 points here in the Kingdome. It's tough to play here. The other thing is that Buffalo has a record of playing poorly on the road. They're not doing that under Mark Levy.
The Bills' rushing game has really gelled. Thurman Thomas had his first 100-yard game last week, and Seattle's had a very tough time stopping the run.
They really have, and that's an opportunity that the Bills will try to exploit today.
Any key we can look for quickly?
The one key that we can look for, if Seattle is going to stay in this game, they've got to run the football effectively, keep the heat off Kelly Stauffer. That means Kurt Warner has to have a big game.
The National Broadcasting Company presents the National Football League. Today from the Kingdome, it's the Buffalo Bills versus the Seattle Seahawks. Brought to you by Mazda Cars and Trucks, including the all-new Mazda MPV. By Budweiser, Beechwood aged for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. And by Murata Fax Machines, built for the most important business in the world, yours.
We can push this.
Jim Kelly, quarterback of the Buffalo Bills, a big star in the USFL. He threw 83 touchdowns in 2 years of the Houston Gamblers. He's adjusted to a much more conservative passing style with Buffalo, and all he's doing now is winning.
Chuck Knox with the pressure on him today. He said this is the most injured he's ever had a team during his head coach tenure in the NFL. Boy, I tell you, he's got his problems here today.
And, of course, Knox, formerly the coach of the Buffalo Bills for 5 years. You talked about the importance, the home field advantage here in the Kingdome, Merlin. Since Knox has been the Seahawks coach, Seattle has gone 34-12 in this building.
Very knowledgeable fans here. They make it tough on the opponent, but you're playing with a rookie quarterback. He's going to have his hands full with this great Buffalo defense.
Mark Levy doing a great job in Buffalo, formerly the head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs, very successful coach in Canada where he won 2 CFL titles. So we are ready to go from the Kingdome. The Seahawks have won the toss and will be receiving. Scott Norwood ready to get this one underway, and this kickoff is sponsored by Budweiser, the king of beers. Norwood's kick taken at the 5-yard line by Randall Morris. Out across the 20 and dragged down to the 26-yard line. The Seattle Seahawks, with Dave Craig still on the men, going with Kelly Stauffer at quarterback, John L. Williams, who had a big game last week, and Kurt Warner, the running backs, rookie Brian Blades, and the all-time leading receiver, Steve Largent, the wide receivers, and Mike Tice is the tight end. Madison Wilson to tackles. Chris Godfrey starting in place of the injured Brian Millard at guard. And 11-year veteran Blair Bush at center. First down at the 25. Williams and Warner in the I formation, and Stauffer will go right to the air, try to hit something deep. And the pass is incomplete. Brian Blades was out of bounds, and Chuck Knox told us that he wanted to get the crowd on his side early in the game, and it's a good way to do it.
He wants to open up that defense a little bit, let them know they're going to go deep right now. But Blades, who lost a touchdown last week because it came down out of bounds, not able to keep his feet in the playing field. Now, even though that play was not successful, it sends a warning across the field. We're not afraid to stretch you deep. That's a good thing to do offensively.
Largent splits out wide to the left. Blades wide to the right. Second down 10. Warner bouncing to the outside. And Kurt Warner is tackled at the 34-yard line by Mark Kelso of Buffalo. The Bills, the second best defensive team in the American Conference. The S troop up front, still Smerlis and Smith. The strength of this defense is their outstanding linebackers, Bennett and Shane Conlon, two outstanding rookies last year. Bentley having a fine year, and Talley really an underrated member of this cast. Burrows and Odoms at the corners. Leonard Smith, the ex-Cardinal, has been a great addition to this defense, and Mark Kelso picked off a pass last week and ran it in 7-8 yards for a touchdown. Third down 2 at the 34. John L. Williams, the big fullback, a penalty marker down. Williams in his third year out of Florida, pretty complete back. He's the leading receiver on this team. Fred Silva is our referee this afternoon at the Kingdome.
Cornelius Bennett getting the call, so the penalty will go against the Seahawks.
Defense, 12 men on the field. 5 yards.
That's interesting.
First down.
That'll do it every time.
Listen, the Seahawks got enough problems with all of their injuries. They don't need to play against a 12-man defense.
I thought the crowd at the Kingdom was supposed to be the 12th man.
Well, maybe that's what they're trying to even up here. They figure this crowd, they got their 12th man, we'll get ours onto the field.
Well, the Seahawks have a first down at the 39. No score, 13:52 remaining in the first quarter. John L. Williams. Gain of about 2 yards on the play. Fred Smerlis, veteran nose tackle. First man to get to him. A little scuffle breaks out.
These two teams had a heated game in the preseason, and they had a lot of emotion on the field. And I'm sure that right now, Seattle trying to establish control on the line of scrimmage. Shane Conlon, 58, an emotional player anyway. And he's angry about being held right there. That's what's got him a little bit upset at the moment. Like Ron Mattis, number 70, the big left tackle, over 300 pounds, had him locked up.
Second down 6 at the 43. Conlon, the defensive rookie of the year last year, and it looked like one of the Bills was offsides. Bruce Smith jumped early.
Well, I know Bruce Smith is fast, but he is not fast enough to get that far into the backfield before the ball is snapped. I think embarrassed by the fact he was already there. All they can do is shut the play down.
Defense, number 78. Offside.
So 2 early penalties against the Buffalo Bills.
Not a good sign for the Bills, and right now, Knox has got to be pleased because one of the things that he wants to do today is play field position football. And he's going to try and keep that ball in the other end of the field. In other words, keep it at Buffalo's end of the field. Make them go the long distance for their score. So at this point, even if they can't sustain the drive, they're going to give Buffalo bad field position.
It's second down and 1. Might this be a place for Stauffer to try to hit something big?
Well, barely not. Looking for the first down, but it's a perfect opportunity. Second and short. Those are great home downs. Excuse me, those are great home run downs.
Kurt Warner with the first down. Art Still on the stop. First down at midfield for the Seahawks. Warner having a decent year, but not one of his better seasons. His average per rush down considerably. 3.8 this year. Throughout his career, he's averaged 4.3 yards per carry. Have you noticed anything in him different?
I think one of the things that Warner may be doing, or at least he did in the last week's game, is to take too many hesitations looking for that home run. He just got to take those gaps and go with them.
Stauffer swings it out to John L. Williams, runs into his own man. And finally tackled by Cornelius Bennett. Williams, the leading receiver on this team.
Looked like a great job by Shane Conlon, number 58, coming out there. And even though he was out of position to make the tackle, he drove the blocker right back into John L. Williams. John L. did a good job of keeping his feet. We've got a Seattle Seahawk on the ground over there. Is it John L. that's still down?
Can't pick up a number, but will return to the Kingdom in a moment.
I think it's Kurt Warner, perhaps.
No score in Seattle.
What's up, Big Job? We got 5 seats. Done this. All right, right. This is nonsense. Daryl, I can't deal with that now. I know. If this is your thing. Showtime, babe. Get him.
for the hustle. The clean, crisp taste of Beechwood aged Budweiser.
Hey, man. Good job. You the best. Hey.
Oh, great for that.
Mazda's got a brand new vehicle that's as unique and special and friendly as the family dog. It's the all-new Mazda MPV. It carries 7 like a wagon, it's versatile like a van, and with its responsive V6, it performs like a Mazda. If Mazda's MPV sounds like something that's never been before, you're right. About the only thing it won't do is get your paper in the morning. The all-new Mazda MPV. Family transportation, the Mazda way.
In the village of Upper Nyack, the firemen fight fires with ladders and hoses. And a Murata fax machine. It's used to receive floor plans and detailed drawings of buildings so they can plan how to attack the fire before they get to the fire. Murata fax machines.
Stopper firing that ball outside. Shane Conlon, stop it right there. Shane Conlon right here is going to drive into Edwin Bailey, the guard, and cue ball him right into John L. Williams. Watch it right here. It's like a pool shot. Bingo. Williams keeping his balance, but it's Kurt Warner. You see Warner going to the ground there, number 28. Darrell Talley pushing him down.
And he's been replaced by Randall Morrow. Stoffer over the middle, and it's knocked down by Cornelius Bennett with those quick hands as Stoffer tried to hit his tight end, Mike Tice.
Number 55, Cornelius Bennett. As tough at the line of scrimmage as any linebacker in football and fast enough to get down into coverage. He's right there. Not a good choice by the rookie Stoffer. You got a man covered by 2 linebackers that way. You don't throw the football to him.
Bennett, who was acquired in a 3-way trade involving the Colts and the Rams last year. 3rd down and 11. The Bills go to the nickel defense, and Stoffer to the shotgun. 4 wide receivers in the game. Stoffer is nailed before he could get the pass away. Dropped at the 40-yard line. Bruce Smith draped all over him.
Now, Ron Mattis has got an injury. He's got a pulled muscle in the back of his ribs. Number 70, Ron Mattis. You just see him off the side of your screen here. Well, you will in a moment. Here's Mattis on the outside. You'll see Smith breaking his way. Coming in right there, just sprinting right by number 70. And I'm sure that injury will take a little of the quickness off Ron Mattis's feet.
Ruben Rodriguez is in to punt on 4th down. He'll be kicking to Flip Johnson, who had an 85-yard punt return against Seattle for a touchdown in the preseason game.
Great kick.
Yeah, he really got off the boomer. Johnson at the 14-yard line. Good coverage downfield by Seattle. But Flip's got some running room now. And barely knocked out of bounds at the 30. Gain of 17 yards. Excellent run back by Flip Johnson.
When it comes to doing business overseas, you gotta know how to get it over there. You gotta span the globe. You gotta put spin on the ball. You gotta know foreign relations most of all. You gotta know the customs. You can't afford to be stopped at the border. You gotta make things happen when you get your customer's order. This reminder from Federal Express that it's not just a package. It's your business.
You know, if I've discovered one thing from driving this new Mazda 929, it's this. Not only does it measure up to the great cars of the world with its luxury and quiet, it more than measures up when you introduce it to your favorite piece of road. The new Mazda 929, a high-performance luxury sedan, the Mazda way.
A6, hurry and you'll make it.
Delta Airlines ticket agent Sam Singletary knows how to get people moving.
Mr. Franklin, your bag.
But sometimes he has to show off a few moves of his own. The kind of moves that made him a first-string halfback. Sam Singletary shares a feeling with everyone at Delta. He loves what he's doing. And it shows.
We love to fly. He's the kid. And it shows.
Mel Price Proctor with Merlin Olsen back at the Kingdom in Seattle. A scoreless first quarter. The Bills began this drive from their 30 following a 17-yard punt return by Flip Johnson. Final score, Cincinnati winning big. Boomer Esiason, last count, had thrown 3 touchdown passes, 42-7 over the Steelers. Eagles leading by 3 over the Rams. The Bears win again. Vince Tobin handling the club, the absence of Mike Ditka. New England finding a way to win. Minnesota breaking away from Detroit. And here comes the noise. The 12th man. Thurman Thomas on first down. Out to the 36-yard line. Good second effort by the rookie from Oklahoma State. Eugene Robinson made the stop for the Seahawks. Jim Kelly at quarterback. Thomas rushing for 567 yards coming into the game. Mueller, the big fullback. Tremaine Johnson's done a good job with Chris Burkett sidelined with a knee injury. Andre Reed tied for the AFC lead in receptions. Wolford and Devil in the tackles. Richer and Vogler, the key to the running game. And Kent Hull, one of the better centers in the league.
That's a good offensive line.
Jamie Mueller in motion. Thomas again with that second effort, and he picks up first down yardage. Thurman Thomas, a second-round pick.
Excuse me. Go ahead.
Out of Oklahoma State, the Seahawks defensively with Green, Nash, and Bryant up front, a little undersized. Schultz and Woods on the outside. Darren Como starting in place of the injured Brian Bosworth. And they lost Patrick Hunter, who was hurt in an automobile accident this week. So Taylor moves into the starting lineup in the secondary, and Jenkins moves to the right cornerback spot. First down to 42. No score in Seattle. The pitch to Thomas. Didn't get the block he wanted from Jamie Mueller, and Paul Moyer brings him down.
Paul Moyer, an excellent safety at playing the run. He's absolutely fearless in coming up inside. They were able to stretch that play out, going to the left. A good job right there as you see Moyer coming up inside, breaking away from all of the protection and being first on the tackle. A lot of Seahawks there to help.
Moyer, who's taken over Kenny Easley's spot. Great special teams player, now moving into the starting lineup on defense. A loss of 2 yards, so it's 2nd and 12. Jim Kelly guns it out in the right, complete to Tremaine Johnson. Chris Burkett has a knee injury, and Johnson has started the last 3 games and has really played well.
That's the kind of play that Kelly throws very well. He is a strong quarterback, and this kind of pattern, about a 10-yard out, requires a strong-arm quarterback. Getting a little cushion over there from Terry Taylor, who has not been playing a great deal. And if he continues to play that way, you'll see a lot of those deep outs here today.
And it's 3rd and 1 for Buffalo, and that means it's Rob Riddick time. He's the 3rd down specialist. Of Riddick's 33 carries this year, 25 have come on 3rd and 4th down. He's number 40, the man to watch. And it appears that he's picked up the first down. He is uncanny on 3rd and 4th down, isn't he?
Guy is absolutely a wonder. And Levy has done a good job of using the talents of his people. Riddick's specialty, picking up first downs. Watch him. He's hit early enough that he might not have had it, but second effort, he simply rolled and drove himself into the area where he was able to pick up that first down.
He's got the good second effort, and he's also got a very good vertical leap and will often jump right over the pile for a first down.
To throw his body in there.
First down to 47, no score with 8:40 remaining in the first quarter from the Kingdom. Kelly going deep and overthrows the tight end Metzelar.
That looks like Tremaine Johnson, I believe. 86 and 88, easy to confuse, but Tremaine trying to stretch out Terry Taylor. Of course, with Patrick Hunter out of the lineup, and you bounce a young man back in there who hasn't started in a number of weeks, you got to test him instantly, and that's exactly what Kelly did. You get a feeling for the strength of Kelly's arm on that pass, too. That ball whistled down there. 2nd down, 10 at the 47. Tremaine Johnson, a great receiver in the USFL. He caught 81 and 90 passes in 2 years in the USFL. Acquired last year in the trade with the Chargers. Big hole
for Thurman Thomas, and Thomas fights his way down to the 42-yard line.
We talked earlier about the weakness of the Seattle defense against the running game. They're giving it up an average of 4.6 yards per carry. A lot of that yardage has come on big rushing plays, and a lot of people trying to exploit the small size of these two defensive ends. Now there's the average. You see it on the bottom? Average per rush against Seattle's defense, 4.6. Everything else matches up pretty well between these two teams. That number jumps at you.
Riddick is back in the game on third down. It's 3rd and 4, and Jim Kelly having a difficult time hearing in the Kingdome. Over the middle, complete. Penalty marker down as the catch is made by Andre Reed, who's tied for the AFC lead with the Dolphins' Mark Clayton.
Their eagerness to rush the passer looked like maybe one of the Seahawks has jumped offside.
Offside, decline, 1st down.
The offsides penalty is declined. They'll take the gain, and it's a 1st down at the 33.
You gotta like Andre Reed. Not only a fine deep receiver, and he's faster than he appears to be, but he's a fearless receiver. Boy, he'll go inside against a physical secondary, and he's not afraid to take those reps.
How tough is he? Well, he's played all year with a broken left wrist. He actually broke the wrist in preseason, didn't discover it until about the 3rd game of the season.
Now that's tough.
That's real tough. Penalty marker down. I don't think they...
Well, it was Metzlar's jumping off sides. Now, a tight end is able to move around, but he can't draw the defensive man off sides. Bruce Schultz, number 58.
False start.
Jumping on top of 88 Metzlar's. Metzlar's, by the way, started his career here in Seattle as a tight end. And the rap on him then, the reason he was traded, was that they did not feel that he was a good blocker. Well, he certainly is today. Makes his presence felt both as an excellent pass receiver and as a blocker in this Buffalo offense.
And apparently he's become such a good blocker that there's some talk of eventually moving him to tackle if they draft a quality tight end.
They'd like some more speed. That's the one area in which he's deficient.
1st and 15. Thurman Thomas. Thomas tackled at the 37 by Jeff Bryant, 77. Tony Woods also in on the tackle. Bengals winning again. The Eagles still leading by 3. The Bears 28-10 over Tampa Bay. Should make Mike Ditka feel better. We send our best to him, the ailing Chicago coach. Giants way ahead. And the surprising Atlanta team shutting out Green Bay. Tampa might get flanked for the 2nd straight week.
They've had some good football played in Atlanta this year. Just can't seem to hold it together at the end of the ball game.
2nd down, 14 for the Bills. Kelly, pass complete. Jermaine Johnson going airborne to make the catch. There's a late flag thrown on the play. Terry Taylor made the tackle.
Either a late hit or a face mask, I would bet, over there.
Jermaine Johnson felt he really didn't have an opportunity in San Diego. He played behind Charlie Joyner and Wes Chandler, and he said, Dan Fouts didn't throw to me very often. He said he threw to me 38 times in 2 years, and I caught 34 of them. What more could they ask?
He does have a fine pair of hands, and I think the feeling in San Diego was he hadn't lived up to his promise.
Defense.
What is Knox upset about?
Conduct, spearing, half the distance, 1st down.
You don't think that's an emotional coach? He's not afraid to tell you what he thinks. He's a little upset with the replays officials last week. It's a late hit, unsportsmanlike conduct. Tremaine Johnson. And I think that's a spearing call. And what they're calling, you can't put that helmet into a player, and if you do it, you're going to get the 15-yard flag, and that's exactly what they called there. And even though Chuck was upset, I think it was a legitimate call.
It was called against Eugene Robinson, the free safety, and it's a 1st down for Buffalo. And the crowd gets into the act here at the Kingdome. Thomas trying to bounce to the outside. What a run by the rookie Thurman Thomas down to the 11-yard line. That's about as tough a 4-yard run as you'll see, and he may be shaken up.
Thurman Thomas slow getting off the ground. I talked to him earlier, and coming out of college, a rookie very often tends to wear down. I said, are you tired? He said, no, I'm loving every minute. Look at that nice bounce to the outside. He did a lot of that last week against Green Bay in that first 100-yard game that he got. It was Robinson again on the tackle, and Eugene wrapping that leg a little bit. I think he may have stretched that ankle a bit. You see him limping on the sideline, but I think he'll be back in the game.
They have a new set of backs. Ronnie Harmon and Carl Byram are in the game now for the Bills. Harmon stacked up and gang tackled. And a loss on the play. Paul Moyer was the first Seahawk to get to him.
And Mel, this Seattle defense, ranked on the basis of yardage, is 26th in the league in the yardage that they have given up. But they have had the ability. Well, there's one of the people that they would love to have on the field. That's the Brian Bosworth, shoulder operation. He should be back in business next week. But the thing that they have done effectively is take the football away. And very often, they get very tough when you get down inside the 20.
Third down, the 11. Loss of 5 yards in the previous play. Kelly trying to buy some time and completes the pass to the 9-yard line to Flip Johnson.
Really heady work by Kelly. He had big pressure, took the extra time, was able to find the receiver. He knows he's going to get clobbered. You see him drifting back. He gets the feeling that's Wyman, 92, diving over the top. But Kelly kept going to his right. Watch him now as he drifts to his right and takes the last possible second to unload that football. Gets it inside. 4th and about 5. They'll try the field goal.
Scott Norwood, who's made 22 of 25 field goal attempts, will try a 27-yarder. And it's perfect. He's 6 for 6 from 20 to 29 yards out, and he's given the Buffalo Bills a 3-0 lead with 3:37 left first quarter.
Why in the world would Mazda subject their trucks to this kind of torture? Well, if you want to build up a reputation for reliability and durability, it's sure a good place to start. It could also have something to do with why Mazda's confident enough to have the best warranty in the truck business. And why they've been rated #1 in customer satisfaction over the last 3 years. Oh, by the way, our lawyer says if you're going to drive like this, you can forget about the warranty.
It's a Radio Shack Merry Christmas.
Roger out. We're all enjoying the Radio Shack Space Patrol walkie-talkies we got for Christmas. I use mine to keep in touch with my backyard explorers. The flexible antennas handle rugged play, and the kids love them because they can talk or send secret messages in Morse code. It's right on the front. Okay, kids, I'm finished. Oh!
Space Patrol walkie-talkies from $9.95, only at Radio Shack.
Being neutral, the Swiss enjoy the best of all worlds. Cars from Italy. Clothes from Paris. Shoes from England. And from America, Old Spice Liquid Stick, a new antiperspirant. With the smoothness of a roll-on and the speed of a stick, it also combines the best of all worlds for total protection. After all, nothing's more important to the Swiss than good relations. Old Spice Liquid Stick, the world's most advanced form of protection.
Next Sunday, the NFL plays here.
The Patriots march into the Big Apple to battle the Jets as both teams try to stay alive in the AFC East.
Then the Browns seek revenge in Denver when they battle the Broncos in a rematch of last year's dramatic championship game.
Before your team takes the field, our team hits the air. NFL Live.
Buffalo running back Thurman Thomas apparently shaken up, and the Bills certainly need him. He had his first 100-yard game last week against Green Bay. He had 108 of his 116 yards in the first half of that game.
One of the dangers with a young running back like that, he may try to play on an ankle that's not healthy, and you certainly don't want to re-injure an injured leg like that.
Scott Norwood having a great year, the NFL's leading scorer, about to kick off. He's given the Bills a 3-0 lead. Bobby Joe Edmonds and Randall Morris await the kick. And it'll be Edmonds at the 9. And it's up hard at the 27.
Butch Roll, number 87, the number 2 tight end, grabbed Edmonds as he tried to hurdle the pile. And they ended up stacked up pretty well. Fine special teams play. Just watch the end of the play. Bobby Joe Edmonds flying up there. Now watch him as he jumps. Number 87 reaches out, gets a handful of jersey, and boom, they're all on the ground together. Fine special teams play.
The Seahawks begin this drive with a 29. Buffalo leading 3-0 on a Scott Norwood field goal. Kurt Warner, who was shaken up earlier, is back in the game now, and he gets the call on first down using that cutback ability.
Ball bounced loose, but I think off the ground, and they're going to whistle it dead and bring it back. Kurt Warner losing a little bit of the great strength and power that he came to the Seattle Seahawks with, but still has wonderful feet and great balance. Some of the cutting that he'll do today, I'll tell you, just really spectacular.
Meanwhile, Thurman Thomas is hurting, being attended to on the sidelines.
Eddie Abramowski, the trainer, and he's looking at the upper part of the ankle, the front of the ankle.
2nd down, 6. Williams looking for a hole, finds one, twisting and turning to pick up the first down. Gain of 12 yards, and Ray Bentley finally shut him down.
One thing you can depend on is that John L. Williams is going to get his yards. He is about as tough a runner up inside as you'll find. Doesn't have the cutting ability of a Kurt Warner, but he has great power and great balance.
Tight end Mike Tice was hurt on that play.
Tice limped off one time earlier. Looks like he is perhaps having ankle trouble too.
He's been replaced by John Spagnuolo, the longtime Philadelphia Eagle. First down to 45. Stauffer swings it out to Williams with 2 blockers in front of him. And he's tackled at the 50 by Cornelius Bennett.
This is a tough defense to try and get to the outside on as their little fisticuffs break out down there, a little pushing going on. But when you have great speed in that front 7, and this Buffalo team has both size, strength, and speed up front, it's tough to get those screens to the outside. Tough to make them work. Just too many bodies out there once the play gets going.
When Bennett was a kid in Alabama, they wouldn't let him play organized junior football because he was too dangerous. He had to settle for pickup games.
I can understand why.
2nd down, 5, midfield, 3-0 Buffalo as we near the end of the first quarter. Nothing there. Warner takes it the other way. Gain of 3 yards. Bruce Smith on the stop for the Bills.
Running right at Cornelius Bennett, number 55. Now watch him take the block here. Mike Wilson, number 75. And Mike has about 30 pounds on him. Throws him outside. Keep watching the play now. Mike says, hey, I can push too. Zips him back inside.
When you have a great defensive player, a linebacker like Bennett, is it better to run right at him or run away from him?
Well, if you run at the other side, you run at Bruce Smith.
Pick your poison.
Yeah, there's no good choice there. Both guys very, very tough at the point of attack. That's one reason this Buffalo defense is so difficult to get yardage on.
3rd down, 2 at the 47. Stauffer from the shotgun. 4 wide receivers in the game. And the pass intended for John L. Williams, and that'll bring up 4th down.
You see who's draped around his legs. Stauffer's a big, strong quarterback too, but he's a rookie, and he'll have his trouble against this Buffalo defense. They really know how to rush the passer.
Saints have taken the lead in Washington. The Saints are trying to win their 11th straight road game. Colts ahead, 7-0 over the Jets. Kansas City leading Denver 2-0. I think that's in the 3rd inning. George Brett hit a home run with a man on. Bo Jackson.
They can't kick 2 extra points, can they? Safety, obviously, in that ball game.
Flip Johnson awaiting Ruben Rodriguez punt. Good hang time on this kick.
It's all in the bounce here. Beautiful.
It's going to be downed inside the 10-yard line. Rufus Porter, who has 4.59 speed in the 40, hustling downfield to down it. A 40-yard kick, and the Bills will have very poor field position.
Announcing the Holiday Inn Make the Super Call game. Come to Holiday Inn, get a game card. Now, Super Bowl 18. 4 minutes to go. Raiders face a 4th and goal. You call it. Scratch off the right play, and you win. Thousands of prizes. Even a trip to the Super Bowl. Everybody's getting into it.
Only at America's favorite hotel. For reservations, make the Super Call.
Some people see shaving as something you do for 3 minutes a day. At Braun, we see it as something you do for a lifetime. And we think you should make the best of it. The Braun Shaver, with its 3 shaving positions. Designed for those who choose to make a virtue out of necessity. Braun, the world's #1 selling foil shaver.
Quaker State with QSX. How do you make a motor oil this good? Testing, testing, testing.
Quaker State quality. We don't just talk about it, we live by it.
The big Q stands for quality. Always has, always will.
Anywhere in the world you can dial direct, you can dial with MCI for up to 22% less than AT&T. At MCI, we don't just promise you the world, we give it to you for less. Until you call, you'll never know how much better a long-distance company can be.
Gail Gardner in New York. We have a final in from the vet in Philadelphia where the Eagles came up with a big win over the first-place Rams. Randall Cunningham to rookie tight end Keith Jackson, 22 yards for the score. The Eagles hold off the Rams 30-24. Let's go back to Seattle.
Thank you, Gail. A couple of key injuries here. Thurman Thomas, the Bills' fine running back, has left the game. He's been taken to the locker room for attention. And Mike Tice, Seattle's tight end, also hurt his knee. Ronnie Harmon, 33, has replaced Thomas. Harmon's brother Kevin plays for Seattle, and all week long on the scout team, he impersonated his brother Ronnie running the Bills' plays.
He should know him pretty well.
Harmon protecting that football with both hands wrapped around it. He was the Bills' leading rusher last year. He's an outstanding receiver out of the backfield. I mentioned the two Harmon brothers. Their older brother Derek also played for the 49ers.
Seattle's opponents have coughed the football up 23 times, fumbled it 23 times. A lot of those from good, hard hits. And Seattle has recovered 14 of them. So you can see why he's wrapping both arms.
And that will be the final play of the first quarter. So the only score in the first quarter, a 27-yard field goal by the Bills, Scott Norwood, and we'll return to the Kingdome.
Challenges you to identify the best in the game in this session of Chalk Talk.
Accepting the challenge to be the best is the first step for any player or team that hopes to be truly great. We have a young man on the Philadelphia Eagles who has met the challenge and put forth his best effort each and every week.
Who's the subject of this Chalk Talk?
Most of my friends don't know what they're going to do after graduation, but I've already locked in guaranteed skill training in the Army. Qualify now and you can reserve even the Army's most sought-after technical training, up to 12 months in advance, through the Army's delayed entry program. Sure, being a soldier won't be easy, but then nothing worth having ever is.
Randall Cunningham's ability is matched only by his desire to accept the challenge of greatness.
It's Chevy versus Ford, compact and full-size pickups in a test of standard four-wheel drive systems. They start in two-wheel drive, but they're going to have to shift into four-wheel to make it across the ditch of doom. The Chevy shift and keep going, but the Ford drivers have to stop and lock hubs. Why is America having a change of heart in pickups? Chevy gives you standard shift-on-the-fly Insta-Track. Ford doesn't.
The heartbeat of America, that's the day Chevy truck.
Top dragsters burn up the tracks at the NHRA Winston Finals of Drag Racing. Red hot rod action on NBC Sports World.
Welcome back to the Kingdome in Seattle. Mel Proctor along with Merlin Olsen. And Merlin, I know you're used to working with Dick Enberg, and I want you to feel comfortable. So this is in deference to Dick and for you. Oh, my!
And I'm sure Enberg who's up doing the Breeders' Cup will grade that, Dick. What do you think? About a 6, maybe a 4.5? That was pretty good. All right. We'll work on it. We'll work on it.
We begin the second quarter with Buffalo leading 3-0. The Bills at their 10-yard line. Jamie Mueller, the big fullback, rumbling out across the 15-yard line, tackled by David Wyman. Mueller from tiny Benedictine College in Kansas, and Marv Levy said it's been a real adjustment for him in the NFL. He had never run a screenplay, didn't know how to run a draw, hadn't done any pass protection, so it's been a real big adjustment.
He'll get bigger in the game plan with Thomas out of this ball game.
Third down 2 at the 16. Rob Riddick is in the game. Andre Reed, Tremaine Johnson are the wide receivers. Kelly's pass deflected and incomplete.
Number 58, Bruce Schultz, a linebacker, able to get a full week of practice this time for about the first time in 2 months. He is very tough at the point of attack, and about 6'6½", almost 6'7". Used all of that length to get up and knock that ball away.
He missed last week's game against the Chargers with a bad arch. So the punt by John Kidd from about the 1-yard line. Bobby Joe Edmonds, who's fourth in the AFC in punt returns, is standing back at the 41. Low driving kick. Edmonds at the 46, looking for blocking. And tackled at the 47-yard line. A return of 8 yards by Edmonds, who has led the AFC in punt returns the last 2 years.
Hey, Sluggo, what's happening?
I'm out of here, Dad, and I'm going as far as $3.42 will take me.
Northwest has some of the lowest fares around, but not that low.
First, Gillette made shaving closer. Then we made it smoother. With Atra Plus, its Luber Smooth Strip glides the razor over your face for Gillette's smoothest shave. The Atra Plus system. First, we made it closer. Then we made it smoother.
Listen to the heartbeat of America. Listen to the heartbeat of America. Oh yeah.
Chevy S10 Blazer, the most powerful V6 engine available in its class, and the most fun available in any class.
To the heartbeat of America. Chevrolet. That's today's Chevrolet.
The challenger, Sugar Ray Leonard.
I'm like his worst nightmare. I keep coming back to win again and again.
The WBC champion, Canada's golden boy, Donnie Lalonde.
After this fight, he won't want to come back again.
The motivation, not one, but 2 world championship belts in one night. November 7th, Caesars Palace, Las Vegas. Leonard versus Lalonde in a full tilt battle for all the gold. Brought to you by Coors Extra Gold Draft.
America's favorite pastime returns to NBC as the nation's top rollers battle it out for Bowler of the Year honors. Join Jay Randolph and Hall of Famer Earl Anthony for the PBA Fall Tour next Saturday on NBC.
Injured Seattle quarterback Dave Craig. He's been out the last 6 weeks with a separated shoulder. He's expected to be activated next week, and he presents Chuck Knox with an interesting situation. Kelly Stauffer playing well, and if they should win today, creates a dilemma for Knox. Does he stay with the rookie, or does he go with the veteran Craig?
Well, as soon as Craig is healthy enough to throw, that does become a possibility for him. But if Stauffer is winning, I don't think you'll see a change in quarterbacks.
First down for the Seahawks at the 46 of Buffalo. The Bills leading 3-0. The ball is picked up. But last week, John L. Williams recovering the fumble. Last week, the Seahawks had problems with the exchange several times.
They had a lot of trouble last week. Of course, Greg Fiesel was in at center last week. Bush is back in there. Looked like Stauffer just hooked the ground and couldn't get the football, couldn't get the handle on it. But they did look awfully disorganized last week. Couldn't get their snap count, couldn't get the ball back up from center. That's a nightmare. There's so many things a quarterback has to do to get the play off properly.
A loss of 7 yards, so it's 2nd and 17 now. Creates a passing situation for Stauffer, stepping up. And the pass is incomplete at the 31 as he tried to hit rookie Brian Blades.
Stauffer's not afraid to use his mobility. He's going to feel the pressure from the outside, take a couple of steps up, and then drift. Art Still, 72, very close to him. That ball looked like a wounded duck. There's Mark Kelso, free safety. He's on Blades. Pressuring there, but that ball needed to be about another 2 feet or a foot and a half and would have been caught.
So it's 3rd down 17. Paul Scansey, number 82, is it for the Seahawks. They like to throw to him on 3rd down. 44 of his 83 receptions in his career have been on 3rd down. Stauffer under a lot of pressure, and down he goes. Bruce Smith getting to him at the 38, his 2nd sack of the game.
Buffalo came into the game with 31 sacks. Smith has laid a couple on the Seahawks here today. coming in from the right side of the defense, right around number 70, Mattis, using that great speed and the strength to dip that shoulder. Stoffer didn't have a chance.
And Ruben Rodriguez is in to punt. Smith, the MVP of the Pro Bowl a year ago. He missed the first 4 games of the season because of a substance abuse suspension. Flip Johnson standing back at the 21, awaiting the kick from Rodriguez. 3-0 Buffalo early in the second quarter. Almost got it blocked, and he gets off a pretty good kick. Seahawks again doing a good job downfield. And he's tackled inside the 20. A 51-yard kick by Ruben Rodriguez. And the Bills will again have poor field position inside the 20.
What happened when Sony put this incredible color TV and one of our most advanced VCRs into this machine? Introducing Video Walkman from Sony, the portable TV and VCR that takes video out of your home and into your life.
Today, more and more people are drinking light beer. And the light beer they're drinking more of is Coors Light. Why? It's easy drinking. Got just the right balance of smoothness and drinkability. And best of all, the Silver Bullet won't slow you down. Coors Light, the Silver Bullet. For all the right reasons, it's the right beer now.
The Acura Legend sedan offers such amenities as leather-trimmed interior, sophisticated stereo system, and ergonomically designed controls. Is it any wonder people enjoy sitting in it? And with its 24-valve 2.7-liter V6, is it any wonder they enjoy standing on it? The Legend sedan, precision-crafted performance from Acura.
Next Sunday, the NFL plays here.
The Patriots march into the Big Apple to battle the Jets as both teams try to stay alive in the AFC East.
Then the Browns seek revenge in Denver when they battle the Broncos in a rematch of last year's dramatic championship game.
Before your team takes the field, our team hits the air. NFL Live.
Number 65, Tim Vogler, is a big key to the Bills' rushing success. In the 4 games he missed with the knee injury, they averaged 81 yards per game rushing. Since he's been back, they've averaged 165.3. How can one man count so much in the running game?
Well, it's all teamwork inside. He's a fine run blocker. And when he's in there, they just seem to work that much better.
Thurman Thomas still has not returned. Ronnie Harmon is in there for him, and Kelly will throw on first down to Jamie Mueller. Protecting that football as he's tackled at the 24 by Terry Taylor and Bruce Schultz.
They're going to try and get Thomas back into the ball game, we're told, and of course that means that he has been given a clearance. Well, they do have x-ray capabilities here in the Kingdome, as all of the stadiums around the NFL do. It's obvious that they don't feel he'll do further damage, but a question as to how effective he can be with a bad ankle.
And Rob Riddick is in now, replacing Harmon. Second down 4. Riddick on the line of scrimmage, and the penalty marker is down as he's tackled at the 26 by Tony Woods, a very quick linebacker, first-round pick out of Pitt last year.
Looked like Tony Woods comes right around from the right-hand side. Let's go inside and look at Vogler. Here he is in the middle of that circle. You get a chance to watch him in this rushing situation. Offense. Going inside to work on Darren Como.
Holding. Number 51. Still second down.
Jim Richard ticketed with a holding call. There is Thomas on the sideline. Looks like he's walking pretty well. That doesn't mean he can run, however.
A reminder to our viewers that we'll be selecting the Budweiser Most Valuable Player for today's game at the conclusion of the game. 11:53 remaining second quarter. Buffalo leads 3-0. Following the penalty at 2nd and 14 now. The Bills have been hurt by penalties in this first half.
They really have.
Kelly fires a bullet to Rob Riddick. Tackled at the 20. It's not really a touch pass. He really rifled that one.
He has the ability to do that with that strong arm. Number 97, Rufus Porter, the man out to make that stop. And Riddick, one of those specialists, as you mentioned, but because of Thurman Thomas's absence from the game, will be pushed into service more often. He has caught 7 passes, 5 of them good for first downs.
3rd down 9 at the 20. Kelly downfield, incomplete. Tried to hit Andre Reed. Good coverage by the Seahawks. And another punting situation for John Kidd.
Kelly really guns this football. Look how hard that ball is thrown, and it kind of sailed on him. Reed almost batted that ball into number 21, Paul Moyer's hands. A near interception on the play.
John Kidd will be kicking it away. Kidd in his 5th year from Northwestern, averaging 37.3 yards per punt this year. He got off a 60-yarder against New England in the first meeting between those teams this season.
Good kick.
Fair catch signaled by Bobby Joe Edmonds, and he'll take it at the 30. Another good kick, 50 yards. Both kickers doing an excellent job so far.
Of course, you're not allowed to rough or get in the way of Bobby Joe Edmonds, who's called the fair catch. That's back off time there. Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
So it's still 3-0 Buffalo.
Rio, we made it.
It's been 35 days in the Pathfinder. Marty and I have gone through jungles, rainforests, primitive villages, and 11 deodorant sticks. What we really needed was a good night's sleep.
But that could always wait till tomorrow.
I'm like his worst nightmare. I keep coming back to win again and again.
The WBC champion, Canada's golden boy, Donnie Lalonde.
After this fight, he won't want to come back again.
The motivation, not 1, but 2 world championship belts in one night. November 7th, Caesars Palace, Las Vegas. Leonard versus Lalonde in a full tilt battle for all the gold. Brought to you by Coors Extra Gold Draft.
What's all this about you selling the Market Street building? My client's still interested in that space. We accepted Gail's offer this morning.
Hello, Jason.
You could have made a counter offer. If you had let me know what was going on, I would have. But I called your office yesterday. I left you a message. You left me a message?
Game is brought to you by Nissan Cars and Trucks, built for the most important race of all, the human race. By new Extra Gold Draft in bottles and cans, the one with a full tilt taste. And by Holiday Inn Hotels, there's no better way to take a time out.
Mel Proctor with Merlin Olsen back in Seattle. Buffalo leading the Seahawks 3-0 with 10:49 remaining in the second quarter. First down for Seattle to Seahawk 30. Kelly Stouffer has had very little success throwing the ball. Guns it downfield to a wide open Brian Blades for a first down at the 41. But there's a penalty marker down at the line of scrimmage.
29 yards, but they're going to bring it back. Looks like a holding call. Bruce Smith talking to Ron Mattis, and Mattis, as we mentioned, really having trouble. Probably hands to the face.
Number 70, offense. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Chop block. 15 yards. Okay. Still first down.
Definition of a chop block. When a player is occupied by someone else and you go after his legs, well, we're not going to see it there because it was on Bruce Smith. And Bruce Smith, I think, saying to Ron Mattis, when you go on my legs, you're going to have real trouble. Here it is. Watch this matchup right here and watch what happens. Turn it loose. There is the chop block. Occupied by Edwin Bailey, number 65, and Mattis from behind. And I don't blame Bruce Smith for having a conversation with Mattis. And I think what he says, you go after my legs, I'm going to take your head off, man.
Mattis has his hands full with a Pro Bowler. Bruce Smith pitched to Kurt Warner. gets to the 16-yard line for the big pass play nullified by a penalty. And prior to that, I was about to mention that Stauffer on 8 passing plays had gained a minus 14 yards. So that ferocious pass rush really creating problems for him.
Shutting it down. There's the stat on the day. They have done better on the rushing game. Seattle with 35 yards rushing offense at this point. Buffalo only 26 yards, but aside, most of that 26 came in that first drive that netted them the 3 points.
Lewis Clark, 84, and Paul Scansey, 2 extra wide receivers are in the game now. 3rd and long, 2nd and long. Pass is tipped and dropped by John L. Williams.
Buffalo Bills, a team that can get good pressure on you even with a 3-man rush. That's what they have here. Fred Smirla, 76 inside. Art Still, 6'7", long arms. Amazing that John L. didn't keep his concentration. Looked like he had a chance to get that ball off the deflection.
Still has been a terrific addition to this defense. He played for Marv Levy in Kansas City and has fit in well with Smirlis, the nose tackle, and Smith, the end, on the other side. 3rd and 23. Stauffer chased out of the pocket. There's a flag down. And the pass is caught by Scansey at the 41. No, it's incomplete. Apparently trapped it. But another penalty marker down.
They are having real trouble with that Buffalo pass rush. They're just too physical.
Defense number 72. Offside. Defense number 72. Offside.
Well, you can't take that advantage. These guys have got enough going for them already. They tried to put 12 men on the field a little while ago. Now they're trying to get a little bit of a jump. Art Still just off a little early on that play. I thought he was legal. Looked to me like he just got a great jump on the quarterback's count.
So it'll be 3rd and 18 now.
Big difference there. The 33 sacks registered by the Buffalo Bills.
They had 34 all of last year. They've almost approached that number to 10 this season. Stauffer showing off that arm, and a great throw for a first down to the 40. Steve Largent with the catch, and that keeps the streak alive. He's now caught a pass in 162 consecutive games.
Stauffer has had trouble working to the great receiver Largent. Largent losing a little of that speed. He was not a burner to begin with, but you can see that they're gradually starting to get more confidence in each other. Tremendous confidence. Stauffer won't get a chance to watch this pass. He's rudely taken to the ground by Cornelius Bennett.
And as important as the 38-yard pickup is, so is the fact that they get the crowd back in the game with that big play. First down at the 40, Buffalo leading 3-0. 8:38 remaining in the second quarter. Play action. Stauffer underneath for his tight end, Mike Tice. Tice, who was shaken up earlier in the game, comes back to make a big catch. And let's go now to New York and NFL Live.
Thank you, Mel. In Indianapolis, the Jets and Colts battling for the possibility of a wild card. After the Colts missed a field goal, the Jets drove right back. Johnny Hector takes it in from a yard out. Game is tied at 7 apiece. Let's go back to Seattle, Mel and Merlin.
Thank you, Gail. And a first down for the Seahawks at the 29. Buffalo leading 3-0. Mike Tice with a first down reception. Warner making something out of nothing, picks up about 6 yards.
That's that cutting ability I talked about. Warner has to be careful against this defense. You don't want to spend too much time going north or east and west. Watch him going, sliding over, little counter play. And that's the hesitation I talked about. You don't want to spend too much time jumping around back there. Gives them a chance to regroup and fly to the hole defensively.
And Bruce Smith has come out of the game for Buffalo, apparently shaken up. He's now on the sidelines. It's 2nd down 6. John L. Williams still missed a shot at him, and he's tackled at the 24, gain of only a yard.
Smith talking to Walt Corey on the sideline, heading back onto the field. Corey was the defensive coordinator at Kansas City when Levy was there. There he is with the headset, bald head, white jacket with the stripes. I'll tell you, he looks like he could still get out there and bang around a little bit. Good, strong defensive coordinator, eye-to-eye kind of guy. Has done a good job with this defense.
An outstanding player years ago with the old Chiefs in the AFL. Stauffer from the shotgun. Pass is batted down. Tried to hit Paul Scanzi, but he was well covered. Leonard Smith and Wayne Davis, the nickelback.
Davis is actually the man that gets his hands on the football. You can almost feel like you're playing in that defensive secondary. Good ball reaction. Allowed them to reach in and knock it away. You'll see it better here. Number 21 just reaching across with that front hand and touching the ball before he nailed the receiver. Otherwise, it's an illegal play.
And a 41-yard field goal attempt by Norm Johnson to tie it. Johnson having a good year. He's hit 13 of 17 field goal attempts. Jeff Kemp holding for him. And we are tied here in Seattle as Johnson connects from 41 yards out, and it's 3-3 with 6:24 left in the half.
Wayne Davis, I'm sure pleased that he was able to knock that ball away, but Seattle doing a fine job of staying in this ball game. And Knox is a master at finding a way to stay with teams who are apparently and obviously a little bit better than he is. That's certainly the case here today.
The Redskins have scored to tie the Saints in the second quarter in Washington. San Francisco leading the Cardinals 13-0. Kansas City and Denver renewing their rivalry. 7-2. The Broncos have taken the lead. Jets have come back to tie the Colts. You know, as I watched Jeff Kemp put the ball down for Norm Johnson, it came to mind that Jack Kemp, Jeff's father, was the quarterback on the Buffalo Bill team in 1964. They won their first 9 games en route to an AFL title. This 8-1 start this year is their best start since that year.
Things have a way of tying together. By the way, that was a great hold. Nice save by Kemp on that last play. That snap a little bit high. It's so important. We don't always give those holders the kind of credit they deserve. In that situation, he saved that ball for Norm Johnson so that they could get it up and tie this ball game.
Rob Riddick, Flip Johnson, and Ronnie Harmon are back deep for the Bills. A 3-3 tie with 6:24 remaining in the second quarter. And it'll be Harmon at the 1. Got some running room out to the 26-yard line. Brian Blades, the rookie from Miami, downfield to make the stop on Ronnie Harmon.
Seattle Seahawks offense really does miss Brian Millard. Fine right guard, replaced in there by Chris Godfrey, and they've had a little trouble running the ball today, getting that running game going. But Millard should be able to come back and play a little bit of football next week, perhaps.
We understand Thurman Thomas, who was injured earlier, will not return this half. Rob Riddick is in there in place of him.
We'll see more of Riddick and Harmon both.
Carl Byram is the fullback now for the Bills. Kelly to Byram, and a lot of Seahawks there as he's dropped at the 30-yard line. That's only Byram's second reception of the season.
With Thomas out of there, they had really settled down the last 2 weeks with their running game and feeling so good about it. Kelly did not have that many passes the last 2 weeks, but the reason that they were staying with the running game is because of the great success Thomas had enjoyed. With him out of the ball game, Kelly may get a chance to do what he likes to do best, throw the football.
Thurman Thomas on the sidelines testing that sore leg. Second down, 7.
Kelly calling an audible. That's hard to do in this stadium.
Rob Riddick out to the 32, a gain of 2 on the play. And we pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network.
Tonight on Sports Extra, join Ed Kilgore and the news. This is WGRZ TV2 Buffalo.
Last week, they ran for 195 yards, a season high. 49 carries in that game, also a season high in that category. Third down, 4 to 33. Jermaine Johnson's foot's out wide to the left along with Andre Reed. Flip Johnson is wide to the right. Kelly to Riddick. Riddick's going to throw it. Downfield for Flip Johnson. And Johnson with the reception for a first down at the 41-yard line. Gain of 26.
Marv Levy has never been known as the kind of a coach who would go to the bag of tricks too often, but in a situation like this with their best running back sideline, little handoff and a little halfback pass, Riddick will stop and shot put that ball, but Terry Taylor had lost his receiver downfield, and they were able to pick it up for a first down.
Gain of 26. Flip Johnson specializes on long gains. He had 2 catches for 75 yards coming into the game. He had a 66-yard touchdown catch against the Jets. Kelly downfield to Tremaine Johnson. He holds on despite a vicious hit at the 25. Terry Taylor cut his legs out from under him, but a gain of 17 yards.
If you want to throw the football, you better be able to do some good protecting of that quarterback. This offensive line for the Buffalo Bills, very adept at that. Inside, Kent Hull, I think, is as good a pass protector as there is in the league. And the 2 tackles are just as fine in that department as well.
First down at the Seattle 24, 4:12 remaining second quarter. 3-3 tie, this battle between 2 first-place teams. Carl Byram in motion. Riddick puts his head down and drives. Jeff Bryant, the first Seahawk to get to him. One of the reasons the Seahawks have had difficulty defending the run is because they're a little undersized up front, aren't they?
They're not very big at all. In fact, they tend to give away about 15, 20 pounds per man up front. The other thing that will hurt them in is that late in the game, they will tend to wear down. Nash is about 270 pounds, Green about 260, and Bryant about 270 pounds, but they really do give away a bunch of weight up front.
Second down 9 at the 23. Kelly hits Andre Reed at the 12-yard line. It's good enough for a first down.
Let me go back to those weights. Jacob Green actually 252, Nash 272, and Bryant 262. So they all got 2s at the end, but those are not big people. Those are the last weights, and I would bet when we go across that offensive line for the Bills, you're almost spotting 20 pounds a man.
Wolford 280, Devlin 280, Richard 265, Bolter 285, and the center hold is 275, so a big advantage.
Timeout. Kelly didn't like what he saw down in there.
Timeout, number 1.
Seahawks love to blitz inside the 20-yard line, and I think he had something coming that he wasn't ready for.
Jim Kelly heading to the sidelines with 3:20 remaining in the first half. Buffalo and Seattle tied 3-3.
As the #1 receiver in NFL history, Steve Largent of the Seattle Seahawks has faced many challenges, but none were as tough as when he and his wife Terry were told that their 4th child, Kramer, was born with spina bifida.
It was one of the lowest points in my life. No, I was crushed. Really just a huddled mass in the corner of the room, sobbing my eyes out.
We've been very fortunate in our circumstances in that we have the resources and the faith to pull us through a tough situation like this, but there are lots of people that aren't able to do that, and that's where the support from United Way comes in. Lots of families that need United Way to help them through a situation like this.
For us, Kramer is like all our children. Already he dreams of being a cowboy. The hopes and dreams of many children and their parents are counting on the United Way. That's why your support of United Way is so important. United Way, it brings out the best in all of us.
As we return to the Kingdome, Jim Kelly's pass batted into the air, and it's incomplete, nearly intercepted.
Dave Wyman there, but they said he trapped the football. Watch this ball being batted. Looks like either it's Ken Clark, number 67, who's gone in place of Joe Nash, and good call by the officials. That ball on the ground before Dave Wyman able to get his hands on it.
Wyman is calling the defensive signals in the absence of Brian Bosworth, who's still sidelined after undergoing arthroscopic shoulder surgery. He'll probably be back next week. Second down 10 at the 12. Riddick gets the call. Inside the 10. Good second effort, gets into the 4-yard line.
very fine block by number 86, Tremaine Johnson. Riddick showing great quickness, and he does have a real sense for the openings on the field. You'll see the block by Johnson right at the end of the run. There's Riddick going off the right side. Now look on the right side of your picture. Bang, right there. That was Tremaine Johnson taking a tackler, a potential tackler, right off Riddick's back. Here it is. Good block on the linebacker, Darren Como, number 53. They're down looking at a third and about 2.5 yards to go.
This is the type of situation which they like to use Riddick. Kelly to Riddick, trying to take it in, and he stopped short of a touchdown, brought down to about the 2-yard line.
He does have the first down, however, and that means they'll have 4 shots at it down inside.
Amazing ability to convert 3rd and 4th down situations.
Of course, I talked about the use of specialists. Riddick, whose primary use has been in these short yardage situations and goal line situations, able to concentrate on being well prepared for that part of the offense.
And we get the 2-minute warning at the Kingdome with the Buffalo Bills threatening to score and take the lead.
Liberty Mutual Insurance presents Legends of the Game. With a reputation as a pure passer, this star quarterback is the NFL's #1 ranked QB among players with more than 4,000 attempts. In his first full year as a starter, he established league records for completions, yards gained, and touchdowns. Who is this legend?
Every day, more Americans are living in homes insured by Liberty Mutual. In fact, in the past 2 years, 500,000 more Americans switched to Liberty Mutual for their home and auto insurance. More Americans switched to Liberty Mutual for their home insurance because we made their dollars work harder. Think about it. Maybe you should switch your home insurance to Liberty Mutual, too.
Sonny Jurgensen was elected to the Hall of Fame in recognition of his outstanding career in which he became a legend of the game.
Rio, we made it.
It's been 35 days in the Pathfinder. Marty and I have gone through jungles, rainforests, primitive villages, and 11 deodorant sticks. What we really needed was a good night's sleep.
But that could always wait till tomorrow.
Top dragsters burn up the tracks at the NHRA Winston Finals of Drag Racing. Red hot rod action on NBC Sports World.
Under Chuck Knox here at the Kingdome, the Seattle Seahawks have gone 34-12. And hello again, Mel Proctor along with Merwin Olsen. And you played here. Is there really that much of a home field advantage?
Oh, it really is. The noise here, for example, just tends to intensify the emotion. And in particular, if you make mistakes as a visiting team, it's just like that crowd just gets out there and grabs you and says, hey, you're really screwing up. And it makes it hard for you. It makes it very hard. Also very difficult to communicate. And one of the things that you'll see Kelly doing in a situation where he has to communicate is using his hands and a snap count where there is no snap, a quiet snap count. We'll keep an eye out for that later on.
First down, goal to go for the Buffalo Bills. They try to break a 3-3 tie. And over the top for the touchdown, guess who? Rob Riddick, his 8th touchdown of the season. Showing that great leaping ability.
You talked about it earlier, that jumping ability. He'll go right over the top of the stack. Watch him. The Seahawks cutting everything down, and everything is stacked up. Riddick says, hey, there's only one way over that stack, and that's to go airmail. And he delivered the package. Elijah Pitts, their offensive backfield coach, to congratulate him along with some of his mates in that offensive backfield.
Scott Norwood trying to make it 10-3. The punter John Kidd holding for him. Riddick's going on a 1-yard run to put the Bills out in front. And the kick is good. So with a minute 57 remaining in the second quarter, it's now 10-3 Buffalo.
Strange how many automobiles portrayed as state-of-the-art have become mere illusions of innovation. Enter the Acura Legend Coupe, named one of the 10 best cars in the world by both Car and Driver and Road and Track magazines. It is shattering preconceived ideas of what a performance automobile should be. The Legend Coupe. Precision-crafted performance from Acura.
Mel Proctor with Merlin Olsen back in Seattle. And a reminder, at halftime, we'll be going back to our NFL Live studios. Frank DeFord will take an interesting look at All-Pro linebacker Reggie Williams of the Cincinnati Bengals, who's a member of the Cincinnati City Council when he's not playing football. Plus, Bob, Ahmad, and Gail will have all the scores and highlights from around the league. It's coming up at halftime. Rob Riddick's one-yard run and the conversion by Norwood has given the Bills a 10-3 lead.
Buffalo showing fine balance. With Thurman Thomas out, they've lost the punch of their running game. They go right to the passing game. Kelly takes the ball down the field. The big plays coming in the passing game, but the final and most important play coming from Rob Riddick as he jumps over the pile, puts it in the end zone.
10-play, 73-yard drive. Riddick going in for the touchdown to make it 10-3.
Mel, that's one of the things that the Buffalo Bills had trouble doing early in the season. They were scoring a good percentage of the time, but not often enough on the touchdown side of things. They've usually got field goals.
Which is one of the reasons Scott Norwood has kicked more field goals than any other kicker in the league. Randall Morris will take it at the 2. Morris tackled at the 21-yard line. The Saints back on top. They jumped out 7-0. The Redskins came back to tie it. Now New Orleans is ahead in Washington. 49ers leading the Cardinals 13-0. Denver and Kansas City, not much offense in that game. Total of 9 points.
A couple of teams have been mauled pretty badly during the year.
First down for the Seahawks at the Seattle 21. 1:52 remaining second quarter. It's 10-3 Buffalo. Stopper will work from the shotgun on first down. Wide open Brian Blades tackled at the 31.
Stopper has not had many passes today where he has not been hit or pressured. He was grabbed again just as he delivered that pass.
Seahawks have 3 timeouts left. Their 2-minute drill now. Stoffer's pass almost picked off. Leonard Smith nearly had it, and he held on. He probably would have taken it in for a touchdown.
Scansey became a defensive back on that play, and Stoffer again feeling the pressure of Bruce Smith, number 78 on the right-hand side, forced into a bad decision, threw into the coverage, and that's what a rookie will do, and that's what pressure will do.
Talking about the Kingdom, Kelly Stoffer's mom and dad are here from Nebraska to see him play for the first time in the Kingdom, and his dad said he was here for a baseball game, and he said, I couldn't believe the noise. And I said, you just wait till you get to a football game here.
Yeah. Seattle looking for a way to get the crowd back into it. They have quieted down right now.
Third down 1. Warner, not much there. Needed a yard for a first down. Fred Warner, who's had 3 1,000-yard seasons. Last year he just missed. He had 985 yards. Got hurt in the final game of the season. It looks like they're short of the first down.
Let's see what Knox's decision is going to be here. Well, there goes the punting team. Knox is a percentage kind of coach. He's not about to take a chance of going for it down that deep in his own territory. Seattle 1 for 6 third down conversions. Not good stats on the day.
Last year they converted almost 49% of third down situations, the best in the NFL. This year they've been down around 37%.
It's difficult. That's one of the problems that a rookie quarterback is going to have, and in particular, as we've mentioned many times today, against the kind of rush and the kind of pressure that this Buffalo team can generate.
It looks like the Seahawks are going to call a timeout now. So they have 2 timeouts remaining.
Talked about Knox's philosophy of trying to play field position. He really knows he's outmanned, and he said it yesterday. He said, in my 11 years as a head coach, I have never had a team with as many injuries, and a lot of them very critical injuries, as we go into this game with. Steve Moore on the right-hand side. He's the offensive coordinator. A bit of frustration showing in those jaws as that drives him crazy. And Let's talk for a second about a rookie quarterback. I mean, there's so many things that quarterback has to learn to do, and a lot of them he doesn't get any credit for. Calling the plays, calling the formations, calling the signals, getting the football, initiating the play, and that's before he can really do his job of throwing the football or getting it handed off. I mean, it is the toughest job on the field without question.
And remember, he sat out all of last year. He was drafted by the Cardinals, could not reach contractual agreement with them, and held out, went home to Nebraska, where he threw a football in his old high school gymnasium, didn't have anybody to throw to, so he'd throw to a ripped curtain that was hanging from the stage in the high school gym.
No ripped curtains here today.
Rodriguez gets it away.
Another good kick.
Fair catch by Flip Johnson. And the Bills will have the ball at the 25 with 47 seconds remaining. 45-yard kick by Ruben Rodriguez.
Kelly has had a fine day so far, but we'll talk about that a little later.
Next Sunday, NBC Sports presents an exciting doubleheader beginning at 12:30 Eastern with NFL Live. And some of you will see a critical divisional matchup, the Patriots and the Jets. All part of our schedule coming up next week. The doubleheader games at 4 o'clock. Raiders and San Francisco, the battle for bragging rights in the Bay Area. Well, Raiders aren't there anymore, but
sort of. Yeah, they still have a great following in Oakland. A lot of loyal Raider fans up there. Love to get them back.
Thank you, Bert. Oh, on first down, a big hole for Ronnie Harmon.
Dwayne Harper, number 29, has gone in to play. They were anticipating pass, and he comes up right there. He's not very big. He just gets dumped on the ground. Good run. Good power running. Very close to the first down. Going to be second short.
It's Rob Riddick on the carry for 9 yards.
We talked about Kelly's numbers on the day. He's 10 for 14. Aren't those the same numbers he had in the whole game last week? 79 yards in the first half here. And on third down, he's 3 for 5 on the first down pickups. So he has done a fine job there.
Last week he was 10 for 14 for 80 yards. The 80 yards, the lowest of his NFL career. So not much scoring in this first half. Scott Norwood gave the Bills the lead with a field goal. The Seahawks tied it up with a field goal of their own, and Rob Riddick's 1-yard touchdown run has been the difference.
Best news, I think, for the Seahawks is that they're only 7 points behind. Buffalo, I think, will be upset with themselves for not getting more points on the board in this first half.
NFL Live halftime activities will continue in a moment, and we'll be right back after these messages from your local station.
Tonight, it's a model family ties when the Keatons make a fashion scene.
They love me.
But does Alex have his own designs?
Didn't know you were getting breast. Dress.
Then on Day by Day, Eileen has an adventure in babysitting.
Potty, you have to empty it yourself.
Oh, my God.
It's all new labs tonight.
What makes an effective congressman? For Western New York, it's Bill Paxton's proven record of achievement, working for jobs, a stronger economy, lower taxes, an end to the drug epidemic, a record that puts people first. As our congressman, Bill Paxton will take his place among our nation's leaders, but he'll always be our friend and neighbor, too. On Tuesday, vote for a man who shares our values, who thinks the way we do, who's one of us, Bill Paxton. For 11 years, he's been standing up for us every day.
At West Hereford, we treat our used car customers just like new car customers.
You get a super deal now at the Super Bowl savings from your Hall of Fame dealer.
That's right, Gail. West Her's used car centers have Hall of Fame savings on more than 150 low-mileage, late-model cars and trucks. Now with 2 locations, you're sure to find the used car you're looking for at West Her's used car centers.
Your Hall of Fame dealer.
He really wants your business, and he put forth an extra effort to get it.
What does it take to build the American dream? Tomorrow on NewsCenter 2 at 6.
It's halftime here in Seattle. The Buffalo Bills leading the Seahawks 10-3. Seattle is the only team that Buffalo has never beaten in the NFL. The Seahawks won 56-17 in 1977, setting a team scoring record, and then also won in 1984, 31-28, and then they won in preseason 30-13 this year here at the Kingdome. So it's 10-3 Buffalo at the half. And right now, let's go to New York. Bob Costas and NFL Live. Robert?
Welcome back to our NFL Live studios in New York. Bob Costas with Ahmad Rashad and Gail Gardner. In the game you're watching, Buffalo out in front of Seattle, 10-3 at the Kingdome. Elsewhere, the Saints and the Redskins. Doug Williams on a 4th and goal just pulled off a reverse, a bootleg play, went in for the touchdown, and this game is now tied at 14. New Orleans has a pair of Bobby Hebert touchdown passes, and the game being played at RFK, even up, seconds to play in the first half. San Francisco at Phoenix, where the 49ers at 6-3 lead the 5-4 Cardinals 13-0. Roger Craig with 99 yards rushing in the first half, including a 3-yard touchdown run. The Jets and Indianapolis on a pair of 1-yard runs by Johnny Hector. The Jets are in front of Indy 14-7, and the game includes yet another Eric McMillan interception. The rookie defensive back for the Jets leads the NFL with 8. You featured him along with your former teammate, his dad, Ernie McMillan, on the pregame show.
You would think that by now they would stop throwing in his area. Every time they throw in his area, he comes up with an interception. But Ken O'Brien, who I thought was going to have a great game today, is having a great half, 13-17. He's moving his team very smoothly. And I thought also that Freeman McNeil was going to play well, but it was Johnny Hector. Same difference. They had a running back that had a great game. So the Jets are looking good.
Indy just hit a field goal as the first half ends, so the score is 14-10. The Jets over the Colts at halftime. Denver leads Kansas City. They spotted them a safety, and now Denver goes in front 14-2. John Elway 14-5. Kansas City just kicked a field goal. John Elway has a 6-yard scoring pass to Vance Johnson. Sammy Winder, a 1-yard scoring run for the Broncos. Now, earlier today, Cincinnati pummeled Pittsburgh. The Bengals are 8-2. The Steelers are 2-8. 42-7, the final score. Boomer Esiason threw 3 touchdown passes. This one goes to Eddie Brown. It covers 86 yards. The first pass Esiason threw for the day. Brown had better than 200 yards in receptions. Ickey Woods had better than 100 yards rushing. James Brooks didn't crack 100 yards, but he did score 3 rushing touchdowns. Great day all around for the Bengals, 42-7. Philadelphia, a winner at home over the Rams. So the Rams are 7-3, and the Eagles go even at 5-5. 3 touchdown passes for Randall Cunningham as Philly wins 30-24. Vince Tobin, the defensive coordinator, fills in for the ailing Mike Ditka, who watched on television following his mild heart attack on Wednesday. And Chicago wins at home over Tampa Bay 28-10 with Mike Tomczak directing the offense, and he threw for a couple of touchdowns. New England beats Miami. It's the 6th consecutive time the Patriots have defeated the Dolphins. Both teams now 5-5. They win it 21-10 with a strong ground game. John Stevens had over 100 yards. 3rd straight week that the Patriot rookie has done that. The Giants had a big lead early, 26-0. Then they hold on to win over the Cowboys 29-21. A couple of touchdown passes from Phil Simms to Stephen Baker. They capitalized on 3 turnovers in the first half, 3 Cowboy turnovers that set up scores. The Cowboys have now lost 6 straight for the first time in the same season since 1960. The first year they played in the league, Dwight Eisenhower was president. The last time they lost 6 in a row. The Vikings over the Lions today, 44-17 at the Metrodome. Vikings 552 yards total offense. The Lions 88 yards of total offense. And the Falcons record their first shutout since 1982. They blanked the Packers, who were plagued by 7 turnovers, 20-0. The final in Atlanta. When we come back, Gail Gardner gets together with Frank DeFord. They take a look at one of the very special people in the National Football League, Bengal linebacker Reggie Williams, after this from your local stations.
In the past few weeks, you've heard a lot about World War II stories. This one really happened. The Great Escape 2, the untold story.
The Autumn Avalanche of Cash. Your Chevrolet dealer. For a limited time, there's an avalanche of cash waiting for you at your Chevy dealer. You'll get up to $600 cash back on a new Chevy truck. And option package discounts can save you an additional $1,900. From the S-Blazer 4x4 to the state-of-the-art C1500 Sportside pickup, your Chevy dealer's got the truck you want. A great deal and savings of up to $2,400. See your good neighbor Chevy dealer today.
Get the results. Fast, clear, concise. Watch Newsletter 2 on election night.
Welcome back. Frank DeFord joins us, and Frank's football novel, Everybody's All-American, was released as a film this week, starring one of my favorites, Dennis Quaid. And it is the story of how difficult it is for some athletes to adjust to the real world after the cheering stops.
Well, I am glad to say, Gail, that there definitely is a flip side, though, a happy one. And this past week, appropriately during election time, I visited a very special NFL player who is also the true, complete human being. Reggie Williams, a Dartmouth alumnus, is in his 13th season as a linebacker with the Bengals. But since last June, when he was appointed to fill an unexpired term, he's been one of 9 members of the City Council of the City of Cincinnati. Coach Sam Weich even regularly lets Williams out of practice so that he can attend council meetings. Make no mistake, this is no cosmetic appointment. Williams devotes himself no less to his constituents during the week than he does to tracking down quarterbacks on Sundays. Mr. Councilman, strange for someone to take up this kind of occupation while still being an active athlete. Why? Why did you do it?
I feel very strongly about the opportunities for professional athletes to make a statement to their society, not only on the football field, but off the field. We spent about 6 months actually talking and preparing for the transition, trying to determine if indeed I was going to make a good public servant in this office, and if indeed the city of Cincinnati would be receptive to what I had to offer. Politics for me is an extension of a lot of my public service interest.
I'm sure a lot of people would say that this activity is taking away from your football devotion. But isn't it possible that someone like yourself, who's played the sport for so long, and after all, it is only a game no matter how complex, that something like this would renew your interest in all of your life, and perhaps make football even more interesting?
You've hit the nail on the head. I have always felt that to be a complete person, you have to have complete challenges, both physically and intellectually. So this transition from the demands of a council member's office and the demands of a linebacker are mutually supportive, because they demand that I give everything I have to each and every job. And that continuous demand to get better and better, to strive for excellence, carries over. So that I don't want to just be a good linebacker and a so-so councilman. I want to be the best at both.
Since he was appointed for this term, Williams is donating his entire council salary to charity this year. He regularly goes out and meets with people. Here, for example, in a depressed multiracial area known as Over the Rhine.
There's 16 apartments in here. It's all elderly. We have 10 different groups, each adopted one. The Episcopal Church in Hyde Park, the Catholic Church in Monroe, Ohio. Different groups have adopted them. And we'll give them the basic design of what needs to be done, fix it up, and then put it back online and rents to a low-income person. We're going to see a completed unit in here.
Whether it's a situation of illness, whether it's a situation of poverty, whether it's a situation of abuse, justice must be real in our society. And it's going to be real if you have the people who are willing to fight for justice. And that is something that I am very vehemently going to be known as a person that is willing to stand up for the rights of the oppressed, and hopefully be the type of individual that can rally around just causes.
Williams has long been recognized as a caring citizen. He's been Sports Illustrated Sportsman of the Year, the NFL Man of the Year, the Players Association Humanitarian of the Year, and among the USJC's Outstanding Young Americans.
Right now, I've been able to focus in on the challenge at hand. It's kind of easy. When you have a 250-pound fullback snorting at you across the line of scrimmage, it's kind of easy to say, yeah, I'm playing football now. I can concentrate on this game. Whereas in City Hall, there is more temptation to think about something related to the game of football, if it's not just because there's a throbbing in your knee that sort of stirs you from an intense discussion on the merits of some fire ordinance.
It sounds, though, all in all, that you are enjoying it very, very much this season, this dual life that you're living.
What I love, Frank, is the challenge of doing something unique and being stretched to the limit each and every day. And every time I go to bed, I think and know that I've accomplished something.
Frank, at a time when elections are on our minds, does Reggie have a party affiliation?
It's odd. He's what's called a Charterite, which is a local reform party in Cincinnati. He refers to himself as apolitical, But if he wants to go ahead, then he's got to reveal whether he really is a Democrat or Republican.
Did he reveal it to you?
He didn't reveal it to me. He's playing his cards close to the vest, but he has strong political instincts, and I would be very, very surprised if Reggie Williams did not go on to seek higher political office. He pointed out to me, for example, that never in America has a black man been elected the governor of a state.
They planned the most daring breakout in history. But the Germans had plans of their own.
Doing a bit of gardening, Gov.
There is a tunnel. Find it. Now there is but one choice. I say we go. We go. In one night, go. 76 men found freedom. Then 50 were recaptured.
You have all been condemned to death. Find them, Johnny.
I will. Now, after the war,
Who carried out these executions?
3 men are back without vengeance. Based on astonishing true events.
Those men were being driven to a shop to be murdered and burned.
Christopher Reeve, Judd Hirsch, Tony Dennison, Donald Pleasance, Michael Nader, Ian McShane, and Charles Hayde in the blockbuster miniseries that reveals everything.
Leaving without saying goodbye?
Tonight, The Great Escape 2, The Untold Story.
Welcome back to the Kingdome in Seattle. A low-scoring game so far. The Buffalo Bills trying to win their 5th straight game. They lead 10-3 at the half. And hello again, Mel Proctor along with Merlin Olsen. And Buffalo lost their outstanding rookie running back, Thurman Thomas. He was hurt in the first half. They had to go with some different people, Ronnie Harmon and then Rob Riddick. But is that going to change what they're going to do in the second half?
I think the advantage that Buffalo has going into this game is that they have better balance right now at this time in their career or in this season than Seattle does. The ability to throw the football with Kelly and some fine receivers as well as run it, and they've got a little bit of depth in there. Harmon was a starter last year, so he's not unfamiliar in there.
And what flexibility Rob Riddick gives you. You saw him throw a long pass. He's a 3rd, 4th down specialist, but playing on 1st and 2nd down with the injury, and makes a big catch here to set up a touchdown.
Makes the first down here and sets it up for himself as he goes back in, and watch how he vaults over this stack of bodies. If we were well, from the high board, we'd give him pretty good numbers on that one, wouldn't we, Mel?
Greg Louganis. He has that knack of getting the ball in the end zone.
He really does. He surely does. And that's the kind of guy you want on your team. As we said, that's one of the problems that the Buffalo Bills have had, is punching it in inside the 20 for the touchdown.
Scott Norwood's 23rd field goal of the season gave Buffalo a lead in the first quarter. Norm Johnson tied it up with a 41-yarder for the Seahawks, and then Riddick's 1-yard touchdown run. Here's an interesting note. When trailing at the half, which they've done 13 times in the last 32 games, the Seahawks have lost all 13 games. This kickoff is sponsored by Budweiser, the king of beers, and we're ready to go with the second half in the Kingdome. Rob Riddick brings it back. Oh, there's a little of that jumping ability. That deserves an oh my, but there's a penalty marker down.
Oh my, a penalty.
Looked like he was on a pogo stick.
Jumping straight in the air. Vertical leap. Unfortunately, you want to get upfield, and that's not possible.
On the run back, number 94. Illegal block in the back, above the waist, half the distance, first down.
Called on Mark Pike.
Number 31, Vernon Dean. Now watch him, goes right down the line, and watch this, Riddick over the top. But there was the penalty. You saw it right there on the left-hand side of your screen. That'll put the Buffalo Bills in very, very bad field position, and an opportunity for the Seahawks maybe to put some heat on them.
There's the guilty party, number 94, Mark Pike, second-year defensive lineman from Georgia Tech, and the Bills with poor field position beginning this drive at the 8. Riddick is in the backfield along with Jamie Mueller, Andre Reed, and Tremaine Johnson are the wide receivers. Riddick spinning away from Jeff Bryant, stacked up at the 9. David Wyman and Tony Woods finally putting him down.
This is not the kind of situation that he is used to being in the game, at least not during this year. So it's going to be a little awkward for him. Pressed into service, as we mentioned, because of the injury to the fine rookie Thurman Thomas. I got to believe that if they were a little further out on the field, we would see them going to the pass. Even now, I think Ted Marchibroda, who calls the plays for Marv Levy's Bills, will say, let's get it in the air.
Riddick splits out wide to the right side now on 2nd and 9. Mueller. And the 230-pound fullback takes it out to the 15-yard line where Bruce Schultz makes the stop.
One of the things that Marv Levy shares with Chuck Knox is a very conservative nature. Believes that good offense begins with the running game. In fact, asking him about speed receivers, I said, you've got to be looking for someone that can get deep in a hurry. He said, you know what we can do? He said, if we can improve our running game, we make the pass game that much more effective. And he really believes that. So does Chuck Knox.
He said our style is simple but not easy. Roll up your sleeves and play good, solid football. Kelly's pass incomplete, intended for Ronnie Harmon.
Vernon Dean, who moments ago was down on that tackle, goes in on the nickel package and makes a good play on that pass by Kelly.
So the Bills will have to kick it away. John Kidd is in to punt. Both punters did a fine job in the first half. Both Kidd and Ruben Rodriguez averaging 44 yards a kick.
Kidd, a very accurate punter. I think that's his big asset, but he's booming pretty well here today.
Seahawks should have pretty good field position here. Bobby Joe Edmonds awaiting the kick for the Seahawks. Another good kick. He really got a hold of this one.
His best of the day.
Edmonds at the 25. Dropped at the 32-yard line. A 59-yard kick that time by Kidd, and it was Paul Moyer.
Devastating block by Moyer on Wayne Davis. 21 on 21. Just nailed him.
The Redskins and Saints having quite a battle in Washington. 14-all in the third quarter. At the half, the 49ers shutting out the Cardinals. Denver now leading 14-5.
That's a strange score still.
Seahawks begin this drive from the 33. Stauffer with a half roll away from the pressure, throws back, a looping screen pass to John L. Williams. Across midfield, he's got a first down at the 41, but there's a penalty marker down. 23-yard pickup.
I'm sorry, Blair Bush is going to be called, I think, for being downfield, an ineligible man downfield. That play just had bad vibes all the way from the beginning. It's roll to the right,
Number 59,
throw back to the left.
Offensive pass interference, 10 yards, still first down.
Offensive interference. That's what Fred Silva said. On the center.
Very strange play. Watch them start to roll to the right now. Little fake toss out there. They're trying to lead everybody off, take advantage of the pursuit. There's the loop right there, and Blair Bush. I know exactly what the call is about. You can't interfere with a defender. You can't push a defender because he has a right to that football as well. Watch Bush, who is blocking with the ball still in the air. You're not allowed to do that. That's construed as offensive interference, and they'll take the penalty back.
When's the last time you've seen offensive pass interference called in the center?
Been a while. Been a while.
Chuck Knox, in his 6th year as the Seahawks head coach, he really revitalized the football program in Buffalo. Did a great job up there before coming here doing the same thing.
Didn't do a bad job in Los Angeles.
Right. You played for it. In fact, you played for both these coaches. Marv Levy was an assistant with the Rams when you were playing in Los Angeles, and here comes Kurt Warner. Out to the 27. Since you have played for Marv and Chuck Knox, how would you contrast the two as coaches?
I think the one similarity, and it's interesting, they come from vastly different backgrounds. Chuck really a gut-level coach, and Levy a very cerebral kind of guy, a Phi Beta Kappa. But it's interesting to me, they both paid their dues, went through the process of being an assistant, and arrived at a head coaching responsibility with ideas about the game that are very similar. Tremendous respect for the importance of defense. They want to start with the running game and then go to the passing game.
2nd down and 16. Stauffer chased out, throws on the run to his tight end Mike Tice, and he's dragged down at the 30. Play was blown dead, down by contact, so no fumble. Leonard Smith made the hit on Tice.
Just as a final tag to those two coaches, the one similarity that really I think has helped him allow them to be successful. They both are excellent communicators, and they'll both look you in the eye and talk to you, and you rarely have to ask the question, what is this guy trying to say to me? They let you know what they want to have done, and they're very honest men, both of them.
Third down, 12 at the 31. Buffalo leading 10-3. Stauffer with time, and it's incomplete. And a late penalty marker thrown against Buffalo. The intended receiver was Lewis Clark, and it looked like Nate Odom's going to be the victim of this flag.
I think very often a late flag like that, you don't throw that flag if you've seen an illegal bump if the pass is not thrown. And then when the pass is thrown, you've got to get that flag out onto the field.
Pass interference, defense, number 37, first down.
Called on Nate Odoms. That gives the Seahawks a first down. Lewis Clark was the intended receiver on the play. Bills have really been hurt by penalties today.
That's another similarity between these two coaches. They'll spend a lot of time talking about the fact that you can't beat yourself. There was the bump which had taken place before that football arrived. Odom's the guilty party.
Paul Scansey is in at wide receiver for the Seahawks, and here comes John L. Williams. Williams to the 44-yard line. Ray Bentley made the tackle for the Bills.
Talking to Mark Kelso about Kelly Stauffer and asking him about his eyes. I said, can you read his eyes? And he said, well, he's like most young quarterbacks. He basically looks at one receiver, and that's something he's going to have to learn to overcome. But he said you can't trust those quarterbacks because if you begin to believe that that's the receiver and then he does look you off, you're in real trouble.
Williams again on 2nd and 2. He's got the first down. You know, talking about that ability to see all of the receivers, Steve Moore, the offensive coordinator, was talking about it and how he worked with Jeff Kemp, the backup quarterback, and through visualization exercises got him to expand his field of vision. He said Dan Fouts of San Diego was the best he's ever seen at knowing where everyone is on the field.
And I think there's Steve Moore. I think that is probably the most difficult thing to teach a young quarterback, is to see the whole field and to read the defenses, to really have a sense of where the open receivers are or are going to be.
First down at the 48. Buffalo leading 10-3, but the Seahawks beginning to move the football now. By Stauffer. And it looked like the Seahawks have recovered it. But another foul up in the exchange from center. That's twice.
Second time today that they have not been able to get the snap back. Last week they blamed a lot of their problems on getting the snap called and getting the ball up on the fact that they had Grant Fiesel in there, the backup center. But that's Blair Bush, who's been in there for a long time, and they are very lucky to get that football. Looked like it touched about 8 people.
Edwin Bailey, the left guard, recovered the fumble.
That ball bouncing around inside. Chris Godfrey had a chance at it. Bounced away from him. Good job by Bailey. Very alert play to get it back.
Loss of 5 yards, so it's 2nd and 15. Kurt Warner wrapped up by Bruce Smith. Bruce Smith, and his 4th year out of Virginia Tech, former Outland Trophy winner.
Watch Bruce Smith come around the block right there. They're trying to block out on him with Edwin Bailey, and he is just too quick. Normally, you go around a block like that, and the ball carrier is gone. But Smith showing you that great quickness to go with the size and the strength. I'll tell you, if there's a better defensive end in football, I want to know where he is.
Third down, 17. Stauffer from the shotgun. Here comes the pressure. John L. Williams with the reception, and he's tackled at the 49-yard line. Good open field tackle by Wayne Davis.
Put Smith in on the nose on that play and cocked him like the old Pittsburgh Steelers did with Joe Green. And he just blew right around Blair Bush and was the man pressuring Kelly Stauffer on that pass.
So what looked like a promising drive breaks down near midfield, and Seattle will have to kick it away.
Here's the cock play. Notice how he's just lined over here. He's just going to slap Blair Bush and get going and blow up the field. Watch it right here. Just slaps him aside. Bush didn't even have a chance on that play.
Ruben Rodriguez is in to punt. He's had 5 punts down inside the 20 this year. Coming into the game, he'll be kicking to Flip Johnson. Johnson lets it hit inside the 10, and ball goes out of bounds inside the 5 at the 4-yard line. A 47-yard kick, and so the Bills will again have very poor field position when we return.
Imagination, creation, application. At GTE, we know the power of people. At GTE, that power becomes an operator's voice when you need it most. Your company's telecommunications system, a nightlight for your child. One-to-one, person-to-person, GTE to you. It's the power of the human touch. And at GTE, the power is on.
Bring on the city, bring on the night.
If you like to drive, the '89 Grand Prix is a car you're gonna love. Pontiac guarantees it.
Yeah,
Take 30 days after you buy your new '89 Grand Prix to make sure it's the ride of your life. If it isn't, bring it back. Your selling dealer will give you full credit toward another new Pontiac. Grand Prix. Guaranteed.
If you thought you had to give up comfort to get a close shave, Norelco says, think again. Their revolutionary shaving system shaves skin close in a way that's incredibly comfortable. As the hair enters the chamber, the patented lift and cut system lifts each hair and holds it a split second before a blade cuts it, so it's possible to shave skin close without the blades even touching the skin. The lift and cut shaving system from Norelco. We made close comfortable.
Today's game is brought to you by Pontiac. We build excitement. By Delta Airlines. We love to fly, and it shows. And by the U.S. Army. Learn how to get an edge on life. Be all you can be.
Mel Proctor with Merlin Olsen back at the Kingdom, where the Buffalo Bills lead the Seahawks 10-3 with 7:57 remaining in the third quarter.
Bills have had a real tough job today, starting early in the game on the 30, the 8-yard line, the 19, and the 27. And in the second half, there are 2 drives starting on the 8-yard line and now the 4-yard line. That's lousy field position.
Kelly will throw from his own end zone, guns it downfield to Andre Reed, and that gets him out of a hole to the 24-yard line. Reed showing that great concentration, that toughness. He's not afraid to go across the middle and make a catch and take a hit.
You've got to admire these receivers, and there's some who will not go across the middle. Reed, as you mentioned, is not one of those. He gets a real shot there from Moyer, number 21, but hangs on to the football. And Kelly, as he can do, throwing a perfect strike.
Perhaps going to put it up a little more in the second half than he would have had Thurman Thomas remained healthy. Thomas was injured in the first half and has not returned. Riddick is the setback. He gets the call. Riddick down at the 26-yard line. David Wyman, Jacob Green in on the stop.
Wyman in place of Bosworth, and he is calling the defensive signals on the field. Now the Seattle Seahawks have a wristband for him. There you see Tom Catley. You see Tom glance down. He has a wristband. Each defense is numbered. Wyman has a wristband exactly the same as that, and that's the way they'll call their defensive signals. At halftime, they'll change those, so it's very hard to pick up the signal.
Kelly with a fake over the middle. Completes it to Riddick, who's had a big game. And Riddick has a first down in Seattle territory at the 47, a 26-yard pickup.
Some mobility by Kelly. Not known as a running quarterback. In fact, is most effective in the pocket, but got himself a little extra time, and Riddick took advantage of it by finding the gap right there, the seam in the zone, and then picking up about 20 yards down the field.
And we'll return to the Kingdom in a moment with Buffalo leading 10-3.
You hear the thunder, the call of the road. No time to wonder. You gotta
Leave it to Pontiac to give you the driving experience called Grand Prix. And leave it to Pontiac to guarantee it.
get on your Pontiac and ride.
Take 30 days after you buy your new '89 Grand Prix to make sure it's the ride of your life. If it isn't, bring it back. Your selling dealer will give you full credit toward another new Pontiac. Grand Prix.
Rebuild excitement.
Guaranteed.
that's over with.
After a day like this, you head for the beer that goes down smooth as a mountain stream. Push.
Rough day. Rough day. Your horse did all the work.
For the mountains of Bush here. After 6 hours of school, I had enough for the day. I hit the radio dial.
With the designed-in sound of a Delco Electronics music system, now the best seat in the house is in your GM car or truck. Delco Electronics, it's who we are.
When he's working, when his work is done, a man wants a jean he can feel comfortable in. American Hero Jeans from Wrangler.
Next Sunday, the NFL plays here.
The Patriots march into the Big Apple to battle the Jets as both teams try to stay alive in the AFC East.
Then the Browns seek revenge in Denver when they battle the Broncos in a rematch of last year's dramatic championship game.
Before your team takes the field, our team hits the air. NFL Live.
6:15 remaining, third quarter. The Buffalo Bills are the first down at the 48 of Seattle, and Jim Kelly will put it up on first down. Plenty of time, and he's going deep for Ronnie Harmon. Tip incomplete. David Wyman, the linebacker, dropping deep in coverage that time.
That ball about 60 yards in the air. You're questioning, asking the question about Kelly's arm strength. Wyman doing a good job of staying down there. 41, Eugene Robinson, playing that deep safety position also there. But you get a feeling for one of the difficulties that this Seattle off defense has had in the past 4 weeks. They only have 1 sack on a quarterback in the last 4 weeks. And then that particular play, Kelly had all afternoon. Could have packed a lunch and enjoyed it back there.
Jamie Mueller and Rob Riddick are the running backs. Here's Riddick off Mueller's block, high-stepping it to the 40-yard line. Mueller really threw a good block for him. Joe Nash finally made the tackle for Seattle. Riddick, a former 9th-round pick from Millersville State in Pennsylvania. He playing well last year. He was leading the NFL in scoring when he broke his collarbone against Denver. Speaking of Denver, the Broncos still ahead, 14-5. Third down 2 for the Bills at the 40, 5:24 remaining, third quarter. Riddick stacked up. Jacob Green, the first man to get to him. That'll bring up fourth down.
Jacob Green slanting in, a slashing play using his quickness. It's one of the things that this Seattle defense has done more of recently. They're having trouble playing head up, so they're giving those defensive linemen an opportunity to slash and try for the big play, which they got there.
John Kidd will be looking for placement on this kick, trying to get something down inside the 10.
Tough job to pick up those lights, pick up the ball up in those lights. It's not easy. We've got a flag on the field. Whoa. Good kick.
Seattle now will have very poor field position. Bobby Joe Edmonds letting it roll, and it's down inside the 5. A 40-yard kick by Kidd.
But we still have a flag down. We'll have to let them sort that out. But Kidd doing a good job of controlling that kick. I talked about his accuracy as a punter. Set an NFL record on balls down inside the 20-yard line here a couple of years ago, and that's probably the strength of his kicking game.
And we await word from Fred Silva on the penalty.
Offense, number 84, holding. 10 yards, re-kick, fourth down.
Keith McKellar, a backup tight end, called for holding.
And of course, with the ball down that close to your goal line, you're going to make them take it back and kick it again. Kidd, by the way, does not have good feelings when he plays against the Seahawks. He's only had 3 punts blocked in his career. 2 blocked here when he was a rookie back in '84, and 1 was blocked here in preseason, all by the Seahawks. So you got to believe that he's watching those blue shirts and wondering when they're going to gang up on him.
Well, the penalty nullifies a great kick by Kidd. Looks like another pretty good kick. Bobby Joe Edmonds going to take it inside the 10. Trying to bring it back. and cut down at the 9-yard line. They get another penalty marker down. And the Bills are hopping mad.
Well, I think the Bills might have been celebrating because they think that that penalty is going to go against Seattle and will pin them almost in exactly the same spot as they had them down before. But Levy shaking his head. Well, let's let him sort it out here.
On the run back, number 22 on the receiving team, illegal block in the back, above the waist, half the distance, first down.
Against Nesby Glasgow, the veteran defensive back, number 22. And we get a break in the action with 4:20 remaining in the third quarter, and Buffalo ahead 10-3.
You hear the thunder, thunder.
The 89 Pontiac Grand Prix does more than just offer you driving excitement. It guarantees it. Take 30 days after you buy your new Grand Prix to make sure it's the ride of your life. If it isn't, bring it back. Your selling dealer will give you full credit toward another new Pontiac. Grand Prix.
Rebuild excitement.
Guaranteed.
Your man in Washington has come through. The Americans will be most displeased. Observe the argon-activated radio-optic laser lights. Amusing, Boris, but the party demanded Bud Light.
If you want the one light that outshines them all, ask for Bud Light.
Where is Boris? He is enjoying a cold one.
Bud Light, because everything else is just a light.
Is their office mail for 9?
Nope.
And me neither.
Hey, maybe they stopped sending memos. Oh, get real. Those suits on 9 are always sending stuff to each other.
Yeah, well, if you didn't pick them up, and I didn't deliver them, how do they get them?
Computers. 7's got computers. They send tons of memos.
These kind of different. Same ones they got in L.A.
Well, Bernie? You got any overnights from L.A.?
Nope.
Weird. Very weird.
Top dragsters burn up the tracks at the NHRA Winston Finals of Drag Racing. Red hot, hot rod action on NBC Sports World.
Mel Proctor with Merlin Olsen back at the Kingdome in Seattle. If the Seahawks hope to win, they need a big game from John L. Williams, who's not only a fine running back, but an excellent receiver. And one of the reasons he's such a good pass catcher is he has huge hands. Now, I have, I guess, small to average sized hands. John L's are as big as yours, and this will give you some.
His hands are the size of mine. If that gives you a little feeling for what John L. has to work with, there's one of those big mitts right there. I'll tell you, he is just one fine football player.
I'm going to ask for a refund. That's embarrassing. Kurt Warner brings it out to the 16-yard line. Williams showing his versatility, throwing a key block for Warner on this run.
Without that block, there is no opening. Number 32 right there coming inside, picks up Shane Conlon, number 58, seals him off to the inside. At the beginning of this broadcast, we talked about the importance of Kurt Warner. If they are going to get this game going for themselves offensively, he needs to get things cooking here. Fine run.
First down at the 16-yard line. Williams and Warner in the eye. Play action by Stauffer. Just got it away in time, and it's incomplete. Got a marker down. Mike Tice is the intended receiver, and a late flag thrown.
You got a feeling for the strength of Kelly Stauffer's arm. He just rifled that football. He's also a pretty tough football player. He got a little bit shaken up on that play. They're asking him his name right there.
Defensive pass interference, number 97.
He's still down on one knee. We may see Jeff
First
Kemp.
down.
Pass interference called on linebacker Scott Radisek.
Stauffer was hit. He's leveled from behind. The blitz was on, and he was hit just as he delivered that football. I don't think he ever felt the blitz coming. Watch from the left-hand side of your screen, the blitzer. And this is what's called the blindside hit right there. Wham! That's Nate Odoms, number 37. And then he took a shot on the front of his head as he went forward.
Well, he's a tough kid and would like to stay in the game, but Jeff Kemp is getting ready just in case Stauffer can't continue.
You want
Somebody ordered a knish. Where are you? Get it out. Service, please.
At the 2nd Avenue Deli in Manhattan, they recently added something new to the menu.
Pass me on the bag.
The phone number of their Murata fax machine.
These other bags, 2 pepper steaks, 1 hot.
The guys say that before they bought the Murata, things were pretty hectic behind the counter.
Just a second, darling. Don't you see I'm busy?
Murata fax machines.
This is not the time to learn that all antifreezes aren't the same. What's in your radiator?
Come on, answer.
Will your new car outlive your new car loan? Give your engine extra protection and help keep your car running like new longer with STP's new Supra Wear Control, so you'll have something to show for your investment down the road.
There's a difference when you're flying.
Where are we going today?
I'm going to Grandma's house. With someone who shows how much they care.
I'm not going to go anywhere without you.
A smile, a tone of voice, and the willingness to try. When you love to fly, it shows.
Delta Green, love to fly, and the feeling grows. That's my new love to fly, and it shows.
Birdie.
You hear those birds? I think that's what Kelly Stoffer was hearing a few minutes ago, that the birds in his ears.
And Jeff Kemp has taken over at quarterback as Stoffer was shaken up. The 8-year veteran from Dartmouth now in the game gives to John L. Williams. Another penalty marker down. Kind of interesting, Kemp's father, as we mentioned, Congressman Jack Kemp, quarterbacked the Buffalo Bills to an AFL title in 1964. They won their first 9 games that year, and this 8-1 start this year by Buffalo is their best start since. I asked Jeff if he remembered anything about those years. He said, I was 5 or 6 years old, and I really don't remember too much about it.
Well, his father has been, of course, a very proud
Offense
papa.
number 65, holding, 10 yards, still first down.
Holding call against Bailey, but Kemp obviously had a chance here to step in when Craig went down, but was pretty shaken up in that first half of the game against San Francisco. Kelly Stoffer put into the ball game, responded well, and they've given the rookie a chance since that time. But he's been a dependable backup all during his career.
So it's 1st and 20 for the Seahawks at the 15-yard line. Play action.
They're running.
And Kemp is brought down to 21-yard line. And let's go now to Gail Gardner in New York for some updates.
All right, Mel, in Indianapolis, the Colts, the Jets were leading 14-7. The Colts with 17 unanswered points. The big play, quarterback Chris Chandler back to pass, can't find anyone, keeps it himself, goes 28 yards down the right sideline for the score. 24-14 Colts. Back to Seattle.
All right, thank you, Gail. With 2:39 remaining in the third quarter, Buffalo leads Seattle 10-3. Second down and 14 for the Seahawks. Jeff Kemp from the shotgun. Here comes the pressure. And down goes Kemp. Dropped at the 16-yard line by Cornelius Bennett. There's his little sack dance, which kind of infuriated the Packers last week. They didn't like it.
Wonder why a quarterback is sacked so often. Watch the battle between Smith and Mattis here. Number 70, Mattis, as we mentioned, 305 pounds, but Smith with great speed, concentration, and that's Cornelius Bennett using his blazing speed. He's averaged a sack a game since he came into the league. I'll tell you that nobody has been able to do that over the long haul, but he is on it again.
He had 8.5 sacks in 8 games last year. Here they come again. And a big hit. Pass was intended for
Ryan Blades.
Yeah, Blades shaking up.
Boy, I tell you, what a shot. Shane Conlon, number 58, just separated him from his teeth. If he had any fillings in his teeth, they're gone now. They just flew one direction. Conlon really nailed him. We saw Conlon go down in the Chicago game, which we covered, which was the dark moment for this Buffalo team so far in this season. Looked like he had a broken leg. He said his leg went numb. They are sure happy he's back in this ball game.
Both punters have enjoyed productive afternoons. Flip Johnson awaiting Ruben Rodriguez kick with 1:53 left in the third quarter. Just got it away.
It's blocked.
Johnson brings it back from the 32. Nowhere to go. David Wyman knocks the ball loose, and Seattle has recovered. Grant Fiesel recovered the fumble. But it was David Wyman who made the hit on Flip Johnson.
So many times these Seattle Seahawks and Seattle fans have watched their team come back with a critical turnover. This one coming off Rusty Tillman's special teams. First, the punt almost blocked. Kicked off the side of the foot. Flip Johnson right there. Wyman nails him. The ball is loose.
And a roar goes up from the crowd as Kelly Stauffer has returned to quarterback the Seahawks. First down to Buffalo 39. The Bills lead 10-3. Stauffer is decked on a blitz by Scott Radisek.
Just blew through the center of that line. Radisek, who'd been a starter, been replaced by Ray Bentley because of an injury and had a hard time getting into the lineup. But you just watched him right there as he split two linemen who were trying to get over to block him, and then just whacked into Kelly Stauffer.
They ran a little game, a stun up front, crisscross move with him coming into.
Very, very quick coming up. A little delay on that thing. That makes it tough on those offensive linemen. They look off for a second, and next thing, there he is.
So the sack puts Kelly Stauffer into a passing situation on 2nd and 19. Incomplete. Off the fingertips of Kurt Warner.
The one thing you don't want to do to a rookie quarterback is put him in 3rd and long situations, and that's what Kelly Stauffer has looked at all day long. He is now 1 for 8 on 3rd down situations, and most of them, in fact, they're averaging about 9.5 yards on each of those, almost 10 yards. So he has got to come up with big plays. He just hasn't been able to do it. But there aren't many veteran quarterbacks that can come up with those conversions either.
See, the Saints have taken a lead over the Redskins in Washington. Denver had 14-8. Kansas City getting a field goal. 3rd and 19. And the Bills will be coming hard again.
You better believe it.
Stauffer scrambling away from the pressure. Bruce Smith chasing him as he fires downfield. Largent. He had it and it was knocked loose. They're going to roll. It's a catch.
They're going to say that the ball bounced loose after Largent hit the ground. And I think the first thing to hit the ground might have been Largent's head. Let's take a peek at it. Largent streaking downfield is going to come back against the grain right here. Coming back to his quarterback. Now watch the hit from behind right here. 2 defenders. That's Kelso, number 38, on the outside. Let's see if he gets a foot down. 1, 2, absolutely. 2 feet down, and then the ball bounced loose after he hit the ground. And I think they're replaying that, but I believe they're going to say yes.
Royal Cathcart is the replay official. The Seahawks felt they got burned 3 times last week on replays.
They surely did, so they're happy to see one go their way. Now they're going to measure this to see if it is a first down. But watch again the great concentration of Largent. Let's see if we can mark that ball visually. Looked like it's right there on about the 29-yard line, carrying the flags all the way across.
The NFL's all-time leading receiver, Steve Largent,
without a touchdown so far this year. Who would have believed that? But still, such a dangerous receiver.
He's gone 9 games without a touchdown. That's the longest drought of his career. He went 6 games without a touchdown his rookie year. They're short of the first down.
Yeah, short by inches. 4th down situation. You got to go for it. That's about a 47-yard field goal. Knox looking at he gets a chance to look at it close up. And of course, I think Knox is over there saying, you know, he had the first down. That's just a poor job of marking it.
Chuck had some things to say about the replay system last week. He said what we really ought to do is go out and get some guys who watch TV all the time, couch potatoes, and make them replay officials.
He was very upset. Let's see where this mark is. Stop it. All right, ease him down right there. Maybe we can have a chance to mark this play for you. There he is, and that ball bouncing up, and it looked to me that that ball should have been marked about exactly where it is. In fact, I think it's a good mark. You see the marker behind it? See the little red marker right there behind it? Watch him now as he goes down. The red marker is the first down marker. Now we have an angle that cuts across there a little bit, so it's not like you're looking straight across the field, but that ball would appear to be very, very close to first down as it bounces free there.
Mentioned last week they lost 2 touchdowns because of replays. Brian Blades had one taken away, and so did Lewis Clark, and also a long reception by Blades. A 53-yard catch was nullified.
Maybe the most important play of the day for Knox, for Steve Moore, the offensive coordinator.
4th down and 1 at the 30. Quarterback sneak. Stauffer twice last week used a quarterback sneak to pick up first downs. Chuck Knox says we've got it. They're going to measure.
Chuck adding officiating to one of his responsibilities here on the sideline today. He'll do it all for you.
Even had time to write a book. Best-selling book called Hard Knocks, written with Bill Plaskey. He says it's #1 in the Pacific Northwest.
Well, it's a good book, too. Good book. And tells a very honest story. They're going to measure it, obviously. And I don't think he got it. No. He is short. He is short. And that is such a... It always bothered me that someone standing on the sideline was going to mark that visually and say, yes, it's right here, and then you bring out the chains and measure it. I guarantee you Knox will give them a little word or two about the mark on that one, as he did on the mark on the catch by Largent. Good defensive stand by this Buffalo defense, and they are so physical in that front 7, taking advantage of great strength and size up there.
Had they gone for the field goal, it would have been a 47-yard attempt for Norm Johnson. He has kicked a 47-yarder this year and is 6 for 8 from 40 to 49 yards out. Hindsight.
Well, that's all hindsight at this point, but that's a big, big turnaround for Buffalo.
So the Bills take over on downs at the 30. Jamie Mueller gets the call. Out to the 32 with 30 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Buffalo ahead 10-3.
Knox had said he wanted to play a field position game, and of course that starting position is part of that. Buffalo has started every drive with an average of a field position of the 17-yard line. 3 of those inside their 10 on the day. Seattle has started at the 28, and only once in really bad field position inside the 10-yard line.
So the Bills will not bother to run another play as the third quarter comes to an end. Seattle gambling on 4th and 1. The gamble did not pay off, and at the end of 3 quarters, Buffalo has a 10-3 lead. We'll be right back after these messages from your local station.
A lot of funny things happen on the way to the White House. Join Tom Brokaw for a different look at Campaign 88. Is this any way to elect a president? Tonight.
Accomplishment. This is where it begins for New York State. Social Security. Pat Moynihan led the team that saved the system. The highway subway bill. He led the override of the Reagan veto. That's creating thousands of construction jobs and $1.2 billion a year for New York. Cop killer bullets. Pat Moynihan wrote the bill that outlawed them. New York's fair share. He's fought to get New York the federal funding it deserves.
New York needs Pat Moynihan for 6 more years in the Senate at least.
He's tough, he's effective, and he's ours. Pat Moynihan. New York's Moynihan.
The Autumn Avalanche of Cash at your Chevrolet dealer. For a limited time, there's an avalanche of cash waiting for you at your Chevy dealer. You'll get up to $1,000 cash back on a new Chevy. And option package discounts can save you an additional $1,900. Big discounts are available on Cavalier, Corsica, Beretta, Camaro, Celebrity, and Caprice. So if you want a great deal and savings of up to $2,400, see your good neighbor Chevrolet dealer today.
Hey, who's wearing a cheap cologne?
smooth, cold-aged Genesee. It's not just a beer, it's a Jenny.
What does it take to build the American dream? Tomorrow on News Center 2 at 6.
Mr. Ken Behring, the majority owner of the Seattle Seahawks, purchasing the majority interest in the Nordstrom family, and his Seahawks are behind right now. Buffalo ahead 10-3.
His heart pumping a little bit stronger than ours, I'm sure, on that opportunity to get a first down and keep that drive alive, but Buffalo has the football.
Second down, 8 at the 32. Jim Kelly just gets it away in time to his big tight end, Pete Metzelaars, rumbling down into Seattle territory, picking up 21 yards and a first down.
As sure a pair of hands as you'll see on the field, and Metzelaars, I'm sure, enjoys that against his old teammates. Three-quarter stats. See the rushing yardage, and we mentioned the importance of that to Seattle. Passing yardage really going heavily in the favor of the Bills, as is total yardage, but of course the important stat on the score, and it's still awfully close.
First down for Buffalo at the Seattle 47. Kelly's pass is intercepted by Paul Moyer, and the Seahawks with a big turnover get the ball back. Andre Reed was the intended receiver, but Moyer picks off his 5th pass of the season.
Strong safety, reading the eyes of the quarterback, Kelly. Kelly just with a little roll here. Watch how quickly Moyer covers the ground. Great anticipation, excellent theft.
When it comes to owner loyalty, every domestic and import car division takes a backseat to Ford. Because Ford owners in households all over America have proven their loyalty to Ford by buying another Ford.
Winning the world over. You're winning. Have you been behind the wheel? In a Ford. Winning the world over. Have you driven a Ford lately?
Gillette has changed the face of shaving. First, we made it closer. Then we made it smoother. Atra Plus. Its Lubra Smooth Strip actually releases lubricants to glide the razor more smoothly. Incredible smoothness from the first stroke to the last. The Atra Plus system. First we made it closer, then we made it smoother.
In Ricky Rudd's high-torque V8, clean-running Quaker Safe with QSX provides unbeatable protection from wear and tear.
And the oil that protects my car on the track is the same oil you buy right off the shelf.
The big Q stands for quality. Always has, always will.
There's a reason why, wherever he goes, Spuds McKenzie has so much fun. He's always in control. Spuds knows it's cool to live by one simple rule. Be a good sport. Know when to say when.
A reminder from Anheuser-Busch.
Today's game is brought to you by Bud Light. Everything else is just a light. By Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? And by Zenith. The quality goes in before the name goes on.
Mel Proctor with Merlin Olsen back in Seattle. Paul Moyer's interception has given the Seahawks new life. They have a first down at the Seattle 39 with 14:15 remaining in the game. Kurt Warner bounces to the outside. A fine tackle by Ray Bentley.
Credit to penetration at number 56, Darryl Talley. A guy you don't hear much about. But 56, Darryl Talley made the penetration, stopped the play, and then Ray Bentley, number 50, came in to clean up. He did a good job.
Bentley, who writes children's books, trying to market them. He and a former teammate, Mike Hamby, write books about a character called Darby the Dinosaur.
Darby the Dino. Hamby did the drawings for him. They're hoping to get that published.
Second down and 13. Kurt Warner and John L. Williams are the running backs. Largent, Brian Blades, the wide receivers. And Mike Tice wrestling that football away from Leonard Smith. Just ripped it out of his hands.
Tice kicking back at Leonard Smith on the ground. Leonard Smith, an important addition for this team. They really felt it. Tice warning Leonard Smith, hey, don't come in there, I'll kick you next time. see if we can see what happened on the play. There's Tice and 46 Smith, who is a powerful hitter, and they're head-to-head as they go to the ground. Now watch Tice get up and use his foot. Oh, well, he uses the knee first, and that's why Smith was mad, because he got kicked in the head.
3rd down 6. Stauffer downfield. There's a penalty marker down. Leonard Smith almost intercepted that pass.
And again, I'll say it, you don't want to put a rookie quarterback in these 3rd and long situations. They're 1 for 9, and Stauffer slow getting up off the ground. And I think on top of all of that, there's going to be a penalty for holding against the Seattle Seahawks. So things not going well offensively.
Offense, holding.
Holding against Ron Mattis.
4th down.
Who's had a tough day.
He is, well, I'll tell you, if I were an offensive tackle and you gave me the opportunity to eliminate one guy that I did not want to play against in the NFL, his name would be Bruce Smith, and I'd say, take him off the list right now, please.
Stauffer shaken up again. He left the game earlier with an injury.
He is a tough kid, though. Played earlier in the season with a broken nose. So he's not afraid to stay out there, but got to have his head clear.
It was against the 49ers. He slipped and collided with Kurt Warner, broke his nose, but scrambled to his feet on the same play through a 55-yard touchdown pass. Rodriguez gets off a booming kick. Flip Johnson will call for a fair catch at the 10. 48-yard kick, and these two kickers, Kidd and Rodriguez, have engaged in a little personal rivalry today. Both have had fine games.
Send up a crow's foot. Give me an app check.
There's a place in the friendly skies where not everyone's so friendly.
Stop. Hold it. I need 3 hours minimum.
Check it out.
Over 9,000 mechanics of United Airlines work
Give me
here.
a mini grinder.
They're picky, fussy, stubborn. But if you fly, they're the best friends you'll ever have. United, rededicated to giving you the service you deserve. Come fly the friendly skies.
As long as I've known Tom, I need help. He's there. Sure, I'm glad to see you. Stay with you? Figured you wouldn't mind.
And when the last tray's rounded up, you head for the mountains. Bush. And the beer that goes down smooth as a mountain stream.
Sure owe you one. How about this in here?
Head for the mountains of Bush beer.
We knew this day would come. You're grown up now and off on your own. It's a relief to know you're not going off by yourself. We found you the perfect escort, a Ford Escort, with performance we can trust and quality we can believe in. Oh, we checked out the imports, but hey, they're not Ford.
Daddy, my Escort's perfect.
Now get a $400 cash bonus on Ford Escort.
Where the original ends, this story begins. Christopher Reeve, Judd Hirsch, and Tony Dennison. Tonight, The Great Escape 2, The Untold Story.
One of Seattle's team physicians, Jim Trumbold, examining Kelly Stauffer, who's shaken up again. Second time he's left the game, and it's been a hard-hitting affair, which is usually the case when you face the Buffalo Bills. And Merlin, I have never been knocked out, but I'm sure you have in your football career. Can you give me a little demonstration? No. I just want to know, what does it feel like?
I'll tell you, it's not any fun. I never got knocked out on the football field, but you saw Kelly moving his jaw. I think he took a shot to the jaw.
Here's Rob Riddick, who's played most of the game at running back with Thurman Thomas out with injury. Let me ask you a question. Riddick has had to play so much on first and second down for the entire game. Will that minimize his effectiveness on his normal third and fourth down situations as we progress into the late stages of this game?
I would think it would, because when you go into a game and are called on to do a lot of things that you're not used to doing, you burn off a tremendous amount of energy. And I'm sure a lot of his success on third and fourth down is his ability to use his emotional energy. I wonder what Dave Craig is saying to Stauffer. Probably just saying, hang in there, kid.
Said, I know how it feels. On 2nd and 8, Kelly back to throw for Tremaine Johnson. It's incomplete at the 30-yard line. Melvin Jenkins coverage.
You bet. Number 24, Melvin Jenkins, who's moved, as we told you, from the left side to the right side. Patrick Hunter, injured in an automobile accident last Sunday night, early Monday morning, and he is not expected back for a number of weeks. You see Stauffer trying to clear his head over there with a few passes. But Melvin Jenkins moved to the right. Terry Taylor back in to start at the left side and did a good job on that last play.
Jeff Kemp. Aaron Kemp's on the sidelines. 3rd down and 8. Kelly guns it complete at the 20-yard line to Tremaine Johnson, who's made some big catches today. He's been impressive.
All in the mark on this one, and I don't know that Tremaine is going to pick up the 1st down. It's going to be very, very close. They're bringing it all the way to the sideline to mark it. And he may have picked it up by inches, but a veteran receiver usually has a little more margin for error than that. You watch it right there as Tremaine made a fine catch inside, but they're going to have to measure it.
Tremaine really wasn't much of a factor last year for Buffalo. He was traded to the team in late August and never really firmly grasped the system, but he picks up a 1st down and done a great job this year with Chris Burkett sidelined with a knee injury.
He really has, and given the opportunity has responded in such a way that I'm sure he'll be a bigger part of their plans even when Burkett comes back into the lineup.
So Johnson's catch gives the Bills a 1st down at the 20. 11:35 remaining in the 4th quarter. Buffalo leading 10-3. All the scoring in the 1st half. Field goals, one by each team, and Rob Riddick's 1-yard touchdown run. That's been it. It's been a defensive struggle. Riddick and Carl Byram are the running backs. Riddick busting out across the 30. And finally dragged down at the 39 after picking up a 1st down. 19-yard run by Riddick.
A huge hole opening up inside. And this is a little play. Watch Richter, Jim Richter here, going to the right-hand side, breaking away. And it's an influence play. It's a sucker play, if you will. Riddick will go right through the area that he vacated. Look at him inside. Nose tackle Joe Nash took himself right out of that play.
Riddick's best year was in 1986 when Greg Bell got hurt. He rushed for 632 yards. 1st down at the 40. 10-3 Buffalo. Carl Byram in motion. He's an outstanding blocker.
Reverse.
Andre Reed on the reverse. Kelly throwing the block for him. Close to another 1st down. Kelly threw a pretty good block.
That was a fine block by the quarterback. Kelly, big and strong, able to watch the play here. Riddick hands it off, coming back the other way. Now, number 12, Kelly, goes right for the ankles here. Goes right for the ankles, cuts his man down. Now, that's very close to being a clip, but he went to the front side. Is it 1st down? Yes, picked up the 1st down.
Kelly's not afraid to mix it up. He was recruited by Joe Paterno at Penn State as a linebacker. 1st down at midfield. Kelly fires into a crowd, and the catch is made by Tremaine Johnson. Bruce Schultz on the stop for the Seahawks. Johnson feels he's capable of being an all-pro type wide receiver if he gets a chance to play. Saints leading the Redskins 24-17. The Cardinals have finally scored. They were on the verge of being shut out for most of that game. Colts leading the Jets 31-14. Joe Klecko facing his former team. Kansas City with a hunt and peck offense this afternoon. 3 here, 2 there. It all adds up to 8. 2nd down 2 at the 42. 9:36 remaining in the 4th quarter. Buffalo leading 10-3. Jamie Mueller breaks out of a tackle and is shot down to 41 by Darren Como.
The success of Buffalo's running game has allowed them to put themselves in 3rd and short situations all day. They've converted a pretty good ratio of those. Seattle, on the other hand, has been in 3rd and long all day. A lot tougher to convert, and they have not done that well. Right now, though, Buffalo is still looking at the scoreboard and saying, you know, Seattle gets one big play, an interception for a touchdown, a long pass, a long run, and they tie this ball game. We got to get points on the board.
Buffalo has converted 5 of 10 third down situations today. They're facing a 3rd and 2 here, and Rob Riddick and Ronnie Harmon are back in the game. Both excellent pass catchers. Harmon, he's got the 1st down. Brought down at the 34-yard line.
In the normal scheme of things, Harmon used in long yardage downs as both a receiver and a runner.
Reminder, this telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Seattle Seahawks and the National Football League is prohibited. This game is the property of the National Football League. Seattle Seahawks and Buffalo Bills, all rights reserved. 8:09 remaining, fourth quarter. Buffalo leading 10-3. First down for the Bills at the Seattle 33. Byram and Riddick are the running backs. Rob Riddick has had a tremendous game for about 8 yards. What a lift he's given this team when Thurman Thomas went down with the injury.
You have to have those good performances from backup people. So critical to you. The rushing game continues to be very, very important. You see Riddick asking for a replacement. Maybe helmet came off. Maybe he popped something loose or broke a chin strap. But the one thing that we talked about earlier in the game, the physical size advantage that this Buffalo Bill offensive line has over a relatively small Seattle front should begin to pay big dividends late in the ball game. Jacob Green and Jeff Bryant tend to wear down a little bit. They've got Ken Park in for Joe Nash on the nose.
Ronnie Harmon has replaced Riddick. Harmon with a lot of running room. 20 to the 15 and out of bounds, marked out at the 16-yard line. A gain of 10, but there's a penalty marker down.
Maybe a holding call? Yes, exactly.
Holding against Buffalo.
Play breaks back against the grain like that. All too often, when a runner does that,
holding. 10 yards, still second down.
67 Kent Hull, I think the center tagged for holding. But what happens is you're blocking on one side and suddenly the runner's going the wrong way. And you've got to do something. Often you resort to holding and the flag comes out.
That's the 10th penalty against the Buffalo Bills this afternoon.
There'll be some conversation about that tomorrow, I'll guarantee you.
10 penalties for 73 yards. Second and 13 for Jim Kelly with 7:06 left. Kelly's pass batted down. Tony Woods got a hand on it.
So close to that single play that I talked about moments ago. If Woods could have gotten his hands on that football, he's got a touchdown. Watch the pass here. Batted right back by 57 Woods. It hits his helmet, kicks up in the air. And I think if Kelly had not bumped him, he might have been able to catch that ball, and he's fast enough that no one would have touched him from behind.
Runs a 4.640, so it would have been difficult to catch him.
Well, now Jim Kelly has one of those big third and longs. Let's see how he converts on it.
Predictable passing situation here. Here comes the Seahawks, and down goes Kelly. And the Kingdom rocks as Jeff Bryant and David Wyman combine on the sack.
That's only their second sack in the last 4 ball games, but it comes at such a critical time, and Buffalo will have to kick that football away.
And you can feel the momentum turning, can't you?
You can feel it start here right now. They need to get something going offensively.
John Kidd to kick it away. Bobby Joe Edmonds lets it hit. It hit one of the Seahawks and picked up by Ray Bentley.
That's going to be Buffalo's football.
Wow.
That's going to be Buffalo's football.
Hit one of the Seahawks in the back of the leg, and Bentley was there to gobble it up.
And how close to being a great play on special teams. It comes right back to hunches. Seattle doing exactly what they wanted to do. They were down there to down the football. The ball did not turn over, kind of hung up there. Ball comes down. Now watch it right here, right there, and they're waiting to touch the foot. They're waiting downfield to try and down it. Right off the foot, right there. Nesby Glasgow, 22, and that's a, boy, what a big play. What a big play. Ray Bentley, number 50, the man who scooped that ball up and carried it out of bounds. So
Darby the Dinosaur would be proud.
Darby'd be proud of him.
The Bills get the ball back on a rather freakish play. 6:39 left. It's 10-3, and there's Nesby Glasgow. Got his leg in the way of that kick.
By far the best starting position Buffalo has had all day.
Riddick. Riddick, if Buffalo wins, going to deserve serious consideration for our play of the game on it.
You better believe it.
Ken Clark, nose tackle, made the stop on him, the ex-Philadelphia Eagle.
I really believe that when you are able to put people in a reserve situation and they come through, you become stronger as a team. Good example of that, the man you saw there, Radisic. Scott Radisic, who was a starter, and Bentley came in, played so well, and now Radisic ready to step in, and you saw him a few moments ago making a sack. That's the same kind of thing. They now know that Riddick can handle responsibilities if they need him in a running situation.
Riddick and Byram are the running backs. Carl Byram getting a lot of playing time in the second half, and here comes Riddick. Got tripped up a bit. But again, that good second effort. He just won't go down. Looks like Bruce Schultz is the first man to hit him.
Watch the shot that Riddick takes here. But he refuses to go down. He'll twist away, keep his body moving, and pick up about another 1.5 yards. Knox, by the way, had Riddick when he was in Buffalo. Fred Smerlas, Joe Devlin, Tim Vogler, Jim Richer, those are all Knox players on this current Buffalo Bill roster.
3rd and 5 at the Seattle 27, 5:17 remaining. Bill 6 for 12 with third down conversions.
Kelly lifts his foot. That means he's ready for the snap.
Kelly downfield, and the catch is made by Flip Johnson. He's got a first down at the 11-yard line.
Buffalo Bills have been using something today in noisy situations. They're going without a snap count. Kelly will just lift his foot out of that shotgun formation when he is ready to turn the center loose. In other words, he's got his pre-snap look, and everyone looks at the football and goes on the football. That's something they feel they can do in any kind of noisy situation. They accomplished it perfectly there.
Flip Johnson with a big catch. His first professional catch was a deflected pass for a 66-yard touchdown against the Jets, and he gives Buffalo a 1st and goal situation at the 9.
Buffalo looking for insurance as we count it down in the 4th quarter.
5:03 left in the 4th period. Here comes Rob Riddick on the cutback. He's to the 6-yard line. Jacob Green made the tackle for the Seahawks.
Bruce Schultz also in there, the linebacker. Excellent pursuit from the backside. In fact, almost too good. Be tempting to call some kind of misdirection play.
Ronnie Harmon replaces Riddick.
Riddick, as we mentioned, using a huge amount of emotional energy. Has to be almost exhausted. You see how slowly he's moving as he comes off to the sideline.
2nd down, goal to go at the 6-yard line. Reed splits out wide to the right, Johnson wide left. Ronnie Harmon turning the corner. Inside the 5 to about the 3-yard line.
Tony Woods had an excellent opportunity to tackle him back on about the 8-yard line, and Harmon able to get away from the tackle and get all the way down to about the 3.
3:59 left. Both teams have 3 timeouts remaining. Buffalo ahead 10-3. Wow, the Redskins and Saints now tied 24-all. Colts leading the Jets 31-14. Kansas City cut Denver's lead to 6 points. 3rd and goal at the 3. Guess who's back in? 3rd down. Mr. 3rd down, Rob Riddick. Riddick straight into the gut of the defense.
I think he's going to be short, and there'll have to be a choice here. He's very close. They're talking about Kelly holding up the hands 2 feet, he says.
They're going for the field goal.
Yeah, Levy, much like Knox, I mentioned the similarity in their philosophy. They both will take the sure points in a situation like this. I think Levy's thinking, too, is that he's going to bank on the defense. The Bills' defense, very, very tough today, and that's what you're saying here. We don't believe you can put 10 points on the board and get back into this ball game.
This will be an 18-yard attempt by Norwood, who's had a tremendous season. He's 23 for 26 on the season, including 1 today. Penalty marker down. The kick is good, but there's a marker down.
The Seattle players motioning that it is against Buffalo. That being the case, this may not become just a simple extra point kind of shot.
Norwood's had a great year. His kicking has been the difference in 5 games. Twice he's beaten the Patriots with field goals. He kicked 5 against the Steelers.
Knox, going into this game, knew that he did not have much of a hand to play, but he won't complain.
Procedure penalty against the Bills.
Well, this will no longer be a simple extra point.
Right in. 5 yards. Still 4th down.
Right-hand side. Let's watch this right end here. See if we can see him move. Whoops, got the wrong guy's circle, but you see the movement on the other side. Oh, it's 61 hidden inside there. Leonard Burton got the left tackle circle rather than the left end.
So now it becomes a 23-yard attempt for Norwood.
Not much more than an extra point, but he's got to do it twice to make it go.
He has not missed from this range this season. And this one is good. So no problem for Norwood. The NFL's leading scorer adds 3 points to the Bills total, and with 2:38 left, it's 13-3 Buffalo.
You're looking at a winner. It's Ford, America's best-selling truck line. And it wins in loyalty, too, with the highest percentage of repeat buyers of any full line of light trucks. See the entire lineup of tough Ford trucks during the Ford Truck Month celebration.
McDonald's presents Holiday Huggable Muppet Babies.
Button up, Kermie. Love 'em, hug 'em, Muppet Babies, hug 'em.
Right now, get your kids Baby Kermit, Baby Fozzie, or Baby Piggy. They're soft and huggable for a special price with any McDonald's food purchase.
Muppet Babies at our place. You can love 'em, hug 'em. Good night, Baby Piggy. At McDonald's.
A portion of the proceeds of each Muppet Baby plush toy will be donated to Ronald McDonald Children's Charities.
If you haven't seen what Zenith's been doing lately, see what you've been missing?
Promotional fee has been paid to NBC by United Airlines, rededicated to giving you the service you deserve. Come fly the friendly skies.
Scott Norwood's second field goal of the game has given the Buffalo Bills a 13-3 lead with 2:35 remaining here at the Kingdome.
That's got to look like a huge lead if you're Chuck Knox, and realizing what a difficult day your offense has had. Not only because of a very difficult defense that they're working against, but also because of their own frustration. They've had trouble getting the ball up to the quarterback a few times. They've had some critical penalties, and they just have not matched up well today offensively.
Chuck Knox pacing the sidelines with just over 2.5 remaining. Both teams have 3 timeouts left. David Hollis and Bobby Joe Edmonds awaiting Norwood's kick. Short kick. It'll be Hollis at the 13. Got some running room. And Hollis out to the 43, but a penalty marker down again. 30-yard return by Hollis.
I'm afraid part of that is going to disappear because of an illegal block. They had great field position, yes, block in the back by one of the Seahawks.
On the run back, number 33. Illegal block in the back, above the waist, 10 yards. It'll be 1st down.
Illegal block call on Tommy Agee.
Tommy Agee, let's see if we can spot him there. It comes late. The flag goes in late, but I don't see Tommy Agee. Must have been away from the, there it is, there it was, right across in front of the ball carrier. Agee saying, why me?
So So the Seahawks go to work, down by 10 points with 2:23 left. Stauffer from the shotgun. Incomplete. What a hit by Leonard Smith on Paul Scansey.
Scansey just about cut in half by that tall pass.
Our headliners in Week 10, Eddie Brown with a big day for the Bengals. 7 catches for 216 yards. Cowboys continue to struggle. Their 6th loss. John Stevens, like Thurman Thomas of Buffalo, an outstanding rookie running back. Over 100 yards again. He had 135 yards 2 weeks ago against this Buffalo defense.
Well, we know how tough that is after watching him today.
2nd down 10 at the 33, 2:18 left. Stauffer in trouble. Gets it away to John Williams with those big mitts. And he's got a 1st down.
Now you're watching a fullback make halfback moves on this play. The big hand. Watch him catch this ball one-handed. This is a little screen play. You let everybody come in. Watch him reach out, one hand, nail the ball there. Now watch him get hit and spin around. Look at this. A little pirouette to pick up the extra yardage. That is a very, very fine play by John L. Williams.
Pretty complete back. He's an outstanding blocker, leading receiver on this team, and a very effective runner. As you can see, he knows what to do with the football when he gets his hands on it. Averaging over 11 yards per reception last year. 1st down for Seattle, but time a real factor now with just over 2 minutes left. Stauffer right through the hands of John L. Williams.
And after giving John L. a moment of glory, we've got to say, John L., you should have had that one. He wanted to turn it upfield, and I think as often happens when a player wants to make the big play, they lose concentration on the football, thinking, I've got this catch. All I have to do is figure out who's coming, and I can make the big run upfield. But, hey, it doesn't matter whether you're playing Pop Warner football or high school football or college football or playing for the Seattle Seahawks, you've got to look the ball into your hands.
2:02 remaining, 4th quarter. It's 13-3 Buffalo. Stauffer guns it downfield, and it's intercepted. Mark Kelso with his 6th interception of the season. Looked like Largent was the intended receiver.
Bruce Smith, number 78, as he has so many times today, all over Kelly Stauffer.
AT&T, the right choice. The Steelers won a record 4 Super Bowls in the 70s, but which NFL club has won the most games in postseason play? Is it the Steelers, the Dallas Cowboys, or the Miami Dolphins? Which would you choose?
People have a tendency to equate 800 service to big businesses and massive telephone systems, and that is not true at all. With our 800 ready line service, you don't need any special equipment. It uses the basic telephone service that you have right now. When that telephone rings and you picked it up, that could well be an 800 call and new business for you. Virtually every business can afford 800 service. It's certainly not for only the largest customer.
The Dallas Cowboys under Tom Landry have won 20 of 36 postseason games, both NFL highs. If you said the Cowboys, you made the right choice. America's favorite pastime returns to NBC as the nation's top rollers battle it out for Bowler of the Year honors. Join Jay Randolph and Hall of Famer Earl Anthony for the PBA Fall Tour next Saturday on NBC.
Mark Kelso. Every time he intercepts a pass, he gives $500 to the Roswell Park Cancer Research Center. That's the 6th interception, $3,000. And I'll tell you, he's a happy young man.
Last week, he won a game ball. It was a nice gesture. He gave it to a former teammate, Steve Freeman, the longtime defensive back. He said Freeman taught him a lot when they played together, and he appreciated it and gave Freeman the ball.
They'd been teammates back in '86, and he felt that he really had learned from Steve Freeman. Very touching gesture. He looks like, I'll tell you, they're looking younger all the time, but he looks like he got to be in high school still.
I don't know how to tell you this, Merlin, but you're getting older.
Oh, darn.
It's the way it works. The Bills now trying to run out the clock.
Did you hear that? The crack of pads, I'll tell you. Woof.
So we're under the 2-minute mark.
Guess who carried that football?
What a day he's had. And there he is, Rob Riddick. It's time now for our Most Valuable Player Award, sponsored by Budweiser. And Rob Riddick is our MVP this afternoon. And Bud will make a contribution to the United Way on behalf of all the MVPs selected. Riddick scoring the only touchdown of the game over the top. He's carried 17 times for 71 yards, now 75 yards on that updated carry. 1 touchdown, 3 receptions for 34 yards, and he's even thrown a pass good for a 26-yard gain. Getting a chance to play with Thurman Thomas sidelined with an injury in the first half.
When you get your opportunity, you've got to take advantage of it. Riddick has certainly done that.
Do you know the Millersville State fight song?
Not by heart. No.
That's his alma mater?
No, not by heart. You want to hum a few bars? Maybe I can follow along.
Second down, 7 at the 33. This time it's the fullback, Carl Byram, who's used primarily as a blocker, and he picks up a first down.
Now they're just trying to run that clock out, trying to grind it out at this point. Knox and the Seahawks did what they thought they had to do to get a shot at this ball game. They played field position football. They kept the score down relatively low, but ultimately it was the failures on offense, their inability to move the football, to get things going, to convert on third down, that really killed them. Seattle, by the way, has only had the ball 2:22 here in this fourth quarter. Kind of hard to run much of an offense when you can't control the football.
Kelly 16 for 25 for 180 yards. He was intercepted once. Riddick, as we told you, has had a tremendous game. Trumaine Johnson with his 4th straight outstanding performance, and Bruce Smith leading that vaunted defense with 2 sacks, 3 tackles, putting a lot of pressure on Kelly Stauffer. Stauffer under pressure all afternoon, sacked 3 times. They really did a job on Kurt Warner, holding him to 34 yards rushing.
Yeah, I said before the game that he needed to have a big day if they were going to get things going. He was not able to do against Buffalo's defense.
Straight ahead goes the fullback, Carl Byram. We'd like to thank our spotters today, Sam Maydew and Rick Mueller, our statistician, Dennis Mnuchin, and of course, our producer, Larry Cirillo, director, Andy Rosenberg. And did you know Larry Cirillo was once the voice of the Tall Corn Network in Iowa?
Corn, yes, I knew that. In fact, there are a lot of folks out there that still remember him for that.
He's remembered for his memorable call of the Cole-Grinnell matchup years ago, and was also the voice of putt-putt golf. We'll be right back.
Each year, 9 out of 10 Americans who have their homes insured with Liberty Mutual stay insured with Liberty Mutual.
America, believes in liberty. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Do you know why Spuds McKenzie has so much fun at parties? Because he's always in control. Spuds knows it's cool to live by one simple rule: know when to say when.
A reminder from Anheuser-Busch.
Bruce Smith and Thurman Thomas, along with help, celebrating on the sidelines as the Bills are on the verge of winning their 5th straight and improving their record to 9-1.
I'll tell you, the thing that they're playing hard for today is home field advantage, the best record in the NFL. And I want to tell you something, come the end of December and the 1st of January, home field advantage in Buffalo is significant.
Well, they have not been in the playoffs since 1981 and have not played a playoff game in Buffalo in 23 years.
Yeah, Chuck Knox knows about the playoffs in Buffalo. He was their coach the last time they went. I'm sure those folks back there are already doing a little celebrating.
Heat up the chicken wings. The Bills will be home soon.
Hey, here we go.
Just over a minute remaining.
This brings to a close an interesting peak and valley kind of season in a way for Seattle. They won 2, lost 2, won 2, lost 2, won 1, and couldn't put the second 2 together here today.
What about the AFC West? It seems that no one is really able to step forward and take charge. How do you assess the rest of the season in the AFC West?
We may have to have a lottery to choose the winner in the AFC West. And Knox very concerned because the health of his team, even though they were leading going into this ball game, such a big factor, and they have a tough schedule left after this ball game at home.
Well, the Seahawks began the day a game ahead of Denver and the Raiders. The Raiders playing San Diego tonight. Denver is playing Kansas City and Denver this afternoon. So a tough defensive struggle about to come to an end here at the Kingdome. as the Buffalo Bills have defeated the Seattle Seahawks for the first time in history, winning it 13-3 as Chuck Knox loses to his old team.
There's a young man who will learn a little bit every week. Kelly Stauffer. Knox passing out a few congratulations to some of the Bills that he remembers from his day in Buffalo. His days in Buffalo. And well, there's a smile from Stauffer. He'd taken quite a beating on the day.
Marv Levy, owner Ralph Wilson, referred to Levy as the best coach we've ever had in Buffalo history. And of course, you keep in mind Chuck Knox was very successful there, and so was Lou Saban.
Levy very careful to point out that he felt that Wilson caught up in the spirit of the moment. They were celebrating a big shutout win at Green Bay, but Marv Levy has got to be walking tall at this moment, along with these Buffalo Bills, as they continue to sport the best record in the NFL.
Immediately following football coverage, we'll present the campaign countdown program, except for Mountain and Pacific stations, where the program will be seen at its regular time, along with the rest of NBC's primetime schedule. Once again, our final score, 13-3 in favor of Buffalo.
Take care.
Bye.